Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
I love sports.
Sports.
When it comes to Texas A&M,
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
And they embody what the school is about. It's about getting into hard situations and getting ourselves out. It's about working hard. It's about doing amazing things.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
Look, I know we're not going to know until maybe LSU, if that offensive line is legit, right?
Right.
Well, what the hell are we doing going to practice if we're not evaluating? So let's evaluate, OB. Have you seen anything from the O-line? You've only gone twice, right? Because you've only been back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them practice against each other.
Yeah.
So that doesn't tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
So with my own eyes, I can't make any evaluation.
You can make evaluations on what they look like, though, right? Big,
yeah,
strong,
big,
physical dudes.
Yeah, all those things. Yeah, I mean, they look great, but doesn't every SEC lineman, look the part?
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't be in the SEC to begin with?
But like when Anto Saka got to town, and I know he's not an offensive lineman, but when he got to town, I thought he looked like a big dude. Mm-hmm. And then the other day, he breaks the internet because of how big of a dude he looks now.
Yeah, he
right?
looks great.
Wilkin Formby is a mammoth human being. He spoke to the media yesterday. Yeah. He's a big, big dude.
He's massive, and he's not even the biggest guy on the line.
No.
He might be the tallest. I think he's around 6'7", so he might be the tallest, but at least he's listed like 6'7", about 300. Is it going to look the part? Absolutely. But as far as coming off the bus, looking like what a NFL offensive line is supposed to look like.
Right.
They definitely look the part, and maybe they're playing the part as well. It's just that from I still haven't actually been able to. We're not going to see it
for a while.
You should look good in drills. You're at a Texas A&M. If you can't look good in drills, what are you doing here?
And by the way, this is not a shot at Arizona State. Arizona State's going to be, I think, a difficult opponent. But you're at home, you're the SEC, and you're freaking Texas A&M with Mike Elko. So, like, they'll present some challenges. I guess I just think of, like, as the season goes on and people get injured, people understand your system more, that's where I think things either crack or develop.
Well, I know Mike Elko, about his offensive line, he's made comments that says he feels like they're deeper than they were last year. Mm-hmm. He said he always goes back to the spring game and how there wasn't as many sacks as there was the previous year. He says, an indication of how much deeper they are, and they probably are. You got the young guys like Blake Ivy and Robert Borden probably ready to play, and then again 5 guys who have started in the SEC.
Yep.
So yeah, they probably are really deep.
What they need, and we need, by the way, is the chemistry to go along with the talent. And that, I don't know what I think about the O-line. I really don't. Like I will know, as I said later. But I do know that Adam Cushing took a bunch of new guys when he first got here and made it work pretty well.
Sure did.
Right?
I think that's one of the reasons maybe even the main reason for optimism.
Yeah. If you're looking for optimism, there it is. If you're looking for pessimism, well, in big boy college football, it's about the line of scrimmage. It's about the line of scrimmage in every level of football. And typically you lose points when you're grading a team when you replace an offensive line and you replace a defensive line.
Yeah. I've said before, I'm more, if concerns are, I have more questions about the offensive line than the defensive front. I think defensive front is going to be good. The offensive front probably will be good. but I got to see it. And I think there's, you know what they say about the offensive line? You know, I always hear this, except when you don't have it. You always hear the importance of experience to get playing together. The cohesion is so important in the offensive line, and that's why our offensive line last year, they were saying, is going to be so good because these guys have been playing together. They know what each other's going to do, right? But now it's like, yeah, but how long does it really take to develop that? It's going to be fine, and maybe it is. But I not just from A&M, I'm saying I get that mixed message. You know, sometimes, is it vital or not?
Right.
Because you may have 5 offensive linemen starting that have never played together before.
You know, I wish I could reach out to Jim Turner right now and get his thoughts. I don't remember what he said at the end of last season. He's working at Rutgers now as their O-line coach. But I'd like to know, what do you think happened at the end of last year from an offensive line perspective? Was it you just were outmatched with some really good defenses? Did the O-line take a step back? What did he see? Because the production from the O-line at the end of last season against better competition was not as good as it was earlier. And how much of that was, how much of that is what caused the running game to be an issue, and then the domino effect with Marcel running for his life?
Well, I think the whole team didn't play well against Texas.
Yeah.
And then against Miami, well, you just look at the number 1 picks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that explains it. And you're not going to look as good against Miami as you would look, say, against Mississippi State.
Right.
Maybe that's a bad comparison. They might have been good. Auburn had a good line.
Yeah.
And they moved the ball pretty well against Auburn. Auburn had a really good defense. Now, they had some, things go wrong on them for them. But it was a good offensive line. I'll say this again. I thought it was a almost elite, maybe elite left side of the offensive line and above average right side.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's listen a little bit to some commentary from yesterday. We have Will Conformity talking about how the line is coming together.
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's definitely been something that we've talked about, players, coaches, everybody. But I think this dates back to January when we all get in the room together, gelling together on and off the field, taking advantage of things like walkthroughs, being able to build, like you said, the camaraderie and the kind of like the chemistry, I guess is a better word. Just building that is big, but when you have so many players who are talented and we've racked a lot of reps with each other, that it's not a huge worry in mine.
How close do you feel like y'all are to having maybe a group of 5 starters or guys that have kind of separated themselves, or do you feel like that's still wide open in some positions?
I just think like our main focus is like practice 5, 6, 7, 8. Like we just haven't. I just think not many people are putting an emphasis on that or a focus on that. I think a big thing is just worrying about how we can improve our game on the last play and on the next play. You know what I mean? It hasn't been a huge thought.
So I guess the question would be, how much chemistry are you really going to develop without the live bullets?
Right.
And they have bullets, don't get me wrong, but a team that is all they're trying to do is beat you, right? Like not a team you practice with every day.
Right. Yeah, that's the question. I wish I could talk to the McKinney brothers.
Yeah.
And ask them, hey, how much time does it actually take to develop the cohesion? And it's going to be different for different, you know. And maybe this is the team that by the time they go to play Kentucky or LSU, look, we got it down.
We got it, right. Well,
and maybe some teams like LSU last year never get it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that D line that they're going up against. Will Conformity talked about some real dudes on the other side.
Bro, we have a loaded defensive line room. Our edge rushers are phenomenal. They give me countless good reps every single day at practice. We get together after practice, talk in the locker room about, hey, remember on this play, what were you thinking? What did I give away on this play? So, I mean, just the camaraderie and with us, the offensive line and those guys being able to push us. And like we just got done doing 2-minute drill, and the angles that they rush with, the things that they throw at us is really tough. And so it is good getting that work in practice and not on a Saturday.
I like that they talk about it, that they go back and forth. Hey, this works, this doesn't, this is what you did, this is what I did. That can certainly help long term when they're taking on some of these elite defensive lines.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you can say, sometimes the guy say, well, I could tell by the way you had your feet set, you know, what you were going to do. Like, I've seen did you ever see the movie Invincible?
Yeah.
Remember the guy's telling, hey, when I got my fingers down, and, you know, and that if they're white, then it means I'm probably coming at you anyway. They can say, hey, this is something I noticed, and you figure if this guy's noticed it, or hey, this is what you should do, because this, if you'll make this little adjustment, this makes it harder for me. Yeah, that's great. I think that's a great thing. You have guys on either side helping each other.
Let's hear one soundbite from Noah McHale, and I'm going to jump to the last one here, Nick, because I really like this answer. He was asked about the mindset of the defensive unit overall, and I think his answer encapsulates what I want from a Mike Elko defense, which is what you usually get.
Yeah, I think violence, physicality, and flying to the ball are kind of some of the things we talk about as a defense all the time. You know, whether we're full pads or uppers, we're going hard and we're banging every practice.
Violence, physicality, and what was the other thing he said? Violence, physicality,
flying to the ball.
Flying to the ball. That's what I want from my defense. I want a violent defense.
Can you be violent without physicality?
Well, I think physicality, violence, I think it's what happens throughout the play. I think you can be physical to the point of contact, but then they're going to run through them.
Yeah, but I'm saying, maybe you can be physical without violent, but can you be violent without being physical?
There's some people, well, I mean, they could poison your coffee.
Anyway, I like I'm with you there. Look, if this is, I don't need all the adjectives. If you tell me this is going to be a, quote, Mike Elko defense, it's good enough for me.
That's good. Let's do three things we want to see. And again, these are hard because we're not going to see anything. But this is brought to you by the Brazos Running Company. From running shoes to Aggie pajamas, this Aggie family's got you covered. Visit Brazos Running Company at the Century Square. Shop Mason Hay at masonhay.com. All right. So, what are three things that you would like to see? Hey, Nick.
When? Like this weekend or the rest
I don't
of the
care.
I want to see everybody complete the rest of the camp healthy. Mm-hmm. So it's more like what I don't want to see, but I want to see everybody healthy.
Yep.
I want to see Damian Sanford continue to get better.
Okay, I like that.
And
I like all of them.
Yeah, and I guess I want to see, I don't actually see it. I heard a report, but Marcel says he's not throwing an interception in live practice situations.
You want to see completions.
I want to see completions and avoidance of turnovers.
Yeah,
yes.
There we go. I'll give you my three, all right?
But based on what, I hate to be that guy, right? But based on the number of interceptions they got last year, if you're throwing against the A&M defense, is that really? That's what I always say. You just never know what you're seeing. Okay, go ahead, Dave.
Smooth transition from the offensive line. I want that chemistry, baby. All right, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait till freaking LSU. I want to know tomorrow. All right, I want to see that chemistry and that transition. I need to see growth from the linebackers. I think I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
But like if Noah McHale brings that physicality and that violence, and they know how to plug some holes, and Damian Sanford is ready to roll, and Ray Coney's tackling everybody out there, and Jordan Lockhart is as dependable as they come, then I'm going to feel really good. And then, because I'm trying to pick something that nobody else would pick,
okay,
I want to see some tight end play, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see Houston Thomas.
Yeah.
All right? I do. I want to see Richie Anderson.
You know, I really want to see
Michael Tease.
You know who else? I want to see Keontae Armstrong.
Because
if he ever emerges, you talk about a physical mismatch.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah, that guy's
I love it.
That guy's a
cheat mode.
Tyrannosaurus Rex with longer arms.
Yeah. Hey, OB, I forgot the name of the show. What is it called?
This is TexAgs Live.
Oh, who are we presented by?
David Gardner's Jewelers.
That's right. Where are we?
We are. Okay, you got to throw me a curveball.
I want the entire area.
Okay. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio.
But if I were to geo-target exactly where we are.
Oh, the Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
Because it's cool to make money.
Yeah.
And this hour, we've actually labeled an hour. We have taken, like, in the calendar.
1 hour.
It's got a name.
The Go Hour.
Presented by the who?
The Warehouse at CC Creations.
If you want to be a part of the conversation.
Sound like you're from Rice.
Yeah.
Right. Who?
If you want to be a part of the conversation, you or who can call us on the what?
Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline.
and that number is 979-693.
1150.
You could text that number. We changed the name because we can do it because we sell sponsorships, and that's called the what?
The Catalyst Pure Performance Energy PPE text line.
PPE. Let's go around the room. Let's go left to right. We go behind the glass through the television. The great Nick Savage is with us. Hello, Nick.
Good morning, y'all.
What is that, a white A&M top you're wearing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From an unspecified brand, because I prefer CC Creations, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But, hey, I know I bring up y'all's favorite metric all the time, ESPN's analytics and whatnot. They put out their win probabilities, on each matchup if you click through A&M's schedule on ESPN.com. And like you were saying earlier, David, the ones that really stick out to me, Arizona State feels like far from a guaranteed win. They got the Aggies with a 90% chance to win that game, along with Kentucky the week after, 89.5% chance to win. That seems like really high to me.
Yep.
And then the one that really jumps out is the final game of the season. ESPN metrics always seem to favor Texas like way out of proportion. They have A&M only a 34.9% chance to win that game at home at Kyle Field. And they're not favored in 3 games this season, according to ESPN Analytics.
As of right now, I wouldn't have them favored against Texas right now. I wouldn't. But, I mean, I don't think it would be – I think it would be close. It would be 55-45 kind of thing. OU, on the road, I think that 72% Tennessee, that's pretty high, but I'll take it. I hope that's what turns out to be the case. Alabama, 41.8 on the road. I actually feel better about that road game for A&M. 70%, 69.5 chance to win at South Carolina.
Okay, I would agree.
You think 70% chance?
We're acting like South Carolina's this
Global
great team just because their coach said that they were going to be in the playoff. You know, I mean, anybody can say it.
But not everybody can do it.
I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this, but he has a tendency for premature exaltation.
He does have a little bit of that. There's medicine for that, by the way. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. It's called Winning. Reese Nygren is in the house. Hello.
Good morning. How are y'all?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing pretty good. It is a Friday, so it is the end of the week, which I'm excited for the weekend as always.
Why?
Because it's the weekend.
What are you going to do?
Well, tonight I'm going to the Astros game with my parents, and then I'm going to spend some time at home. So
home being parents'
LaGrange.
home?
Yeah, parents' home. Yep. LaGrange.
What do you got for us this morning?
So you guys were talking about the linebacker room for Texas A&M. Well, Tulsa linebacker transfer Ray Coney was named to the Butkus Award preseason watch list, which highlights the nation's top linebacker. Coney totaled 129 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble for the Golden Hurricanes. Coney is looking to be the first Aggie to win the award since Von Miller in 2010 and just the second Aggie to win it in its 51 years.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I expect Coney to kick Butkus this year.
Your smiles after these your smiles.
No, you know what, really, I watched him a lot in the drills and things. And, you know, he again, he should be good in drills, but this guy looks like the absolute real deal.
Yeah. Let's get one more, Niagara.
And then just some NFL preseason updates for some Aggies. Former A&M edge rusher and current Cincinnati Bengal Cassius Howell had his first professional fumble recovery last night in their contest against the Detroit Lions. McKinley Jackson had 2 tackles for the Bengals as well. Michael Clemens, a tackle for the Colts versus the Patriots. And Buddy Johnson had 2 tackles for the Raiders versus Chase Basantis and the Cardinals.
Awesome stuff. Thank you,
I
Niagara.
love to hear. First of all, I love to hear Buddy Johnson still out there playing because I like Buddy. He thought he was a really good guy as well as a good linebacker. And I didn't know that Clemens had left the Jets.
Yeah, I didn't either until right there. So there you go. Thank you very much, Nygren. Hey, shout out to our buddy Michael Yeri who sent us this shirt. This
nice shirt.
Delco. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was supposed to wear mine, but I forgot.
That's how you'll wear it next week. But he put a post on Facebook, on freaking TikTok. I didn't know grown people did TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
No.
Okay. It's all right, Michael. We appreciate you. But anytime viewers or listeners do like a video with us in the background or a picture, I love that. I think it's the best.
That shirt,
it's a seller.
I just like the concept and everything about it. I think that could be a big seller.
Nygren, do you remember when that concept happened? It was on the postgame show. I said Elko, and I said KO, and everybody thought I was a loser for that idea. They're like, that's a dad joke, Nuno. That sucks.
It is a dad joke.
It is the best.
I like that.
Yeah, I think he could make billions.
Now, if he made millions, would he have to?
Yeah, I don't think he's allowed.
Would he have to give some to Elko?
No, but what I think would happen,
because for name, image, and likeness.
Well, just don't give back the Heisman, Elko. Oh wait, that's not him. That's
He's got
Jay
all
Daniels.
3 of those on there: name, image, and likeness from Elko.
Now I feel bad for saying his name. They're going to come after him.
Cease and desist
His
letter
name is
on
not
its
Michael
way.
Yuri. It's Pablo Sneary. Anyway, come by studio. We'll give you a tour of it. Let's maybe we'll have it catered by 1775 OB.
Oh well, who needs millions of dollars if it's going to be catered by 1775? I mean,
I got the shirt. I got the shirt, OB. Yuri, if you're listening, OB just ripping into
some succulent brisket or some amazing pork ribs,
there we
or some of that outstanding jalapeno cheese sausage, or even the turkey, which is not only good but good for you, and of course the queso mac and cheese.
I love the queso mac and cheese.
That won't cost you $1 million, but it'll make you feel like $1 million.
I love it. You don't think I catch it, but the way you talk about turkey, the way you point to the direction.
I like turkey.
But you say it, it's kind of like, I like going to the circus. You really don't. You just, my kids like it, so I guess Nuno likes it, so I like it.
No, I do like it, but I will say this. The last time I went, my son was there, and my son's kind of like you, working out all the time, watches what he eats.
Yeah.
And dark hair, dark eyes, looks like his mom. I've always said I'm so thankful that he got his looks from his mother and his intellect from me. But he ordered the turkey. Why? Because he says, I'm watching the calories.
Order anything.
Oh, I get that. That last time I got the jalapeno cheese sausage, because I knew Irma had ordered that massive or an outstanding brisket sandwich.
Yeah.
I knew she wouldn't finish it, so I knew I was going to be eating at least half of it.
A little bit
so
more.
I got both.
Well, I think queso mac and cheese for breakfast is an excellent thing to start your day with. Call them up, 979-492-6241. The website is 1775txbpq.com. It's 1775.
And it's good.
Hey everyone, David Nuno here of TexAgs Live. I want to introduce you to the team at Holistic Planning. Got Jason Barber here, Taylor Pankratz, and also Paul Meredith. Jason, I want to start off with you. What really sets Holistic Planning apart from the others?
Yeah, so what makes us different is most financial advisors stop at investment management. On the other hand, Holistic Planning, we manage investments, taxes, and estate planning all on one team, all underneath one roof.
Now, Taylor, when everything is coordinated like that, it really helps the bottom line, doesn't it?
It really does. When your investments and taxes are working together, you stop leaving money on the table and keep more of what's yours.
Paul, Holistic Planning is trying to expand as well.
That's true. We just opened our Houston office, and we're looking for people who feel like their advisor isn't seeing the full picture, because that's exactly what we fix.
And Jason, there's other opportunities beyond that.
Definitely. If you're a financial advisor and you want to join the Holistic Planning team, we're looking to add 50 teams in the next 5 to 10 years. So check out holisticplanning.com/advisors.
All right, so if you want a team that actually coordinates everything, go to holisticplanning.com. Aggies, this one is worth it. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal, or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar, I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going, you use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder,
Think sharper. Pure results. It's Catalyst. Estamos aquí, TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Hour number one of the show, we call it the Go Hour, presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. Let's go to the phone lines.
Let's do.
You know, our callers are not like weirdos. Well, some of them are, but like fine bombs. We got some good callers.
I want to hear.
I don't know who Thompson is, but Thompson, welcome to the show. You're on the Puppies Catering and Bartending Hotline. What's up, man?
Hey.
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 Hey, Olin.
Yes.
Nino, love you guys.
Thank you.
I've been a big fan for several years, and I've been following TexAgs for a long time. I just wanted to call in and talk about Texas A&M football's biggest strength this coming year. It's got to be the defense, but the one thing I want to see the defense take to the next level is forcing turnovers.
Yep.
What do y'all think about that?
I'm going to go out on a limb, Thompson. I'm going to say they're going to force more turnovers because the bar was really low last year. They're working on it. They really are. I mean, they do certain drills that they always do, but I think they just put more emphasis on it. It's more in their heads, too, in their front of their minds that they've got to force more turnover.
Thompson, I'd say this. To me, the biggest strength that I know is the wide receivers.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest strength that I know.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I think the wide receivers.
The wide receiver core is really good.
Yeah, and then I would say the DBs have potential to be the strongest. Well, Coach Oakle says that they're the best he's had since he's been here.
And they were third in the SEC last year in pass defense.
It's hard for me to say they'll be, I mean, other than getting more interceptions. When you lose Will Lee, how much better are you? But I think Julio Humphrey has grown into a very nice player, and so has Ricky Gibson. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, Will Lee off the edge as a blitzer was a force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they'll still do that. In fact, I saw them working on it yesterday because Elko loves to blitz from different positions. You know, gets you where you're thinking it's not coming from there, and he's great at that. But I think the secondary, which was third in the SEC last year in pass defense, I think it'll be as good as it was last year, possibly better. And I don't know if the defensive front is going to be as good as it was last year, but I think it's still going to be strong. And then I'm very optimistic about the linebacker play, especially since we feel like Damian Sanford's going to play at some point.
Yeah.
But Noah McHale looks good, and I'm really, really sold on Ray Coney.
Yeah, I am as well. Go ahead, Thompson.
That sounds fantastic. You know, and you know, that's the meat and potatoes. Okay, we've got to talk about, you know, the offense now. And I know for a fact that Marcel Reed is also a big strength for the Texas A&M football team. It's a little bit disheartening to see how much the national media seems to put him as a mediocre to bad quarterback after just a couple of bad games last year. Okay, it's true. He hasn't beaten Texas yet, and that's a knock on him, but he's got another shot this year to get him. Do y'all think he's going to knock off Texas this year?
I think that they absolutely could. I don't know. I think that's one of the silliest things. I always say, hey, Peyton Manning never beat Florida. No, Tennessee never beat Florida. What if you score 40 points and lose 42-40? Is that on the quarterback?
Right.
Right? Vince Young was lost twice. He had a losing record against Oklahoma. It's just, to me, that's not talking about you, Thompson, but that's a lazy way to look at things. Football's too big of a team game to always put it on a quarterback.
Look, I have no problem where certain people rank Marcel as long as they keep that same energy for other people in the same boat. When I see John Mateer at number 3, and somebody's and
oh, that's ridiculous.
And by the way, I think Mateer's pretty good. He had some issues last year. You could blame it on the injury. But at one point he was playing at a very high level early on. But if you're going to throw strays at Marcel because of X, Y, and Z, those same strays need to be applied to other quarterbacks who had just as many or close to turnovers and meltdowns down the stretch.
Every quarterback has some bad games. It just happens that Marcel had his in probably the two most visible games of the season. And important.
Yeah.
I go back to as good as Fernando Mendoza was. He had a bad game against Penn State and was bailed out by a couple of really acrobatic catches. So that doesn't mean that he wasn't a great quarterback. He absolutely was. I think Marcel's got the strangest dynamic is that Marcel was this guy that was a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate going into his final game, and yet this year somehow is flying under the radar.
Yep.
He's like the neutron bomb. Is that the one that No, that's the neutron bomb.
I think one of his more underrated targets will be Reuben Owens out of the backfield. I'm eager to see how his catching abilities have developed, and just seeing him also take over a game from that perspective too. He's a stud. He was a former 5-star guy, so he's got some big expectations coming up this season too.
I think Reuben's proved himself. Notre Dame. I think some other games where Arkansas maybe had some big catches out of the backfield. Thompson, we do appreciate your call and your take on these subjects. So thanks for being a part of the show.
Yes, I love speaking to y'all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Thompson. Very kind of you. Have a great week, man. Thompson there on the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. All right, fine. We've lifted the ban from callers. Call in.
Oh, I like callers.
I know you do.
Yeah. I've been a caller myself before to a radio show.
Have you faked your name?
I probably should because, how many Olins are out there, right?
We should do like a thing where we prank call shows around the country and record it and put it on the show.
I would probably start laughing. That's my problem there.
One of my very few good traits is I'm a pretty good prank caller.
Are you?
Pretty good, yeah.
Is your refrigerator running?
I'm going to go catch it. I'm going to hit a break. We'll come back. We'll do 25 and 25 on the other side. Right now, we're talking Caldwell Country Chevrolet, Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online at CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. They got the deals, they got the vehicles, they got the people. That's all you need to know when you go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Obviously, you want to know what the prices are. Well, they got great prices. You want to know what kind of trade-in value your car's going to get. Well, they're always trying to get new vehicles on their lot, so they're going to give you top dollar for your vehicle. And, of course, that customer service that comes with a free oil change for life as long as you own that vehicle from Caldwell Country Chevrolet. It's about a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan, to the beginnings of Caldwell. A short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. Hey, everybody. David Nunya here, TexAgs Live. Here with Sheldon and Danny Shelley of Aggieland Hydration. Sheldon, I want to start off with you. What is Aggieland Hydration and who do you serve?
So we're a mobile IV company. We serve the Bryan College Station area, and we are licensed under our medical director to work anywhere in the state of Texas, but given the name, we're focused on the Bryan College Station area.
Danny, how do appointments work?
So when a client calls in, they can call into our main line, or we have an online booking process. We get a quick little bit of information, name, date of birth, the address of where we're going to go, kind of what's going on. We give that information over to our nurse, and usually they can arrive within 30 minutes to an hour.
Danny, who's this geared towards? Is it more for like sick people, athletes, people who've been partying? Who's this for?
All the above.
Okay.
And it just really depends on what you're getting after. Sheldon travels a lot, so I give him an IV once a week. Some people get it just as needed, like when they're sick or if they've been working, in the yard all weekend, if they just had a big workout, stuff like that.
And all right, Sheldon, help me out. Why do I not just drink a bunch of water or juice? Like, why go the IV route?
Yeah, so drinking water orally, you don't absorb it all. So getting a liter of fluids into your bloodstream directly, you feel the results better. And it's equivalent to drinking about almost 2.5 gallons of water.
All right, that's Aggie Land Hydration. How do people check you out?
They can go to our website at aggielandhydrationandinjectables.com.
Or you can call them up at 979-217-1561. It is Aggie Land Hydration. Bro, this is a call-in show. We got another caller.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I mean, holy smokes. What are we doing
Well, we won't
here?
back down from the
Well, this
callers.
guy calls. This is Ross.
Okay.
Ross
East of East Texas?
I think it's that same Ross. Ross is calling on the Buffalo Catering and Bartending Hotline. What up, Ross?
What up, David? What up, Olin? Yeah, we've opened the floodgates on the Buffy's Catering and Bartending Hotline, but I'll be very quick because I know everyone's calling in to hear y'all, not me, but Marcel Reed, I agree with Olin's take. He should not just be forgotten. People be saying that he can't win the big game or the Aggies didn't play any big games last year. That's just false. You know, A&M beat a one-loss Mississippi State team last year. They had barely lost to Tennessee in overtime. They had beaten Arizona State, a good Missouri team that was also 2 losses later in the season. Arkansas was fighting for their life when A&M beat them. Even Carolina. If South Carolina beats A&M, they're probably going to go to a bowl game, even at 5-7. So the narrative that A&M and Marcel Reed hasn't played in and won big games is false. And I just wanted to say that now that we've opened up the hotline, have a great weekend.
Thank you, Ross. Always appreciate your calls, man. Ross there on the Buffy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. I'm going to read this text that kind of ties in with what Ross is saying. This is from Ryan and LaPorte. In fact, we'll let
Reese Nygren from the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Read it.
Yeah, Ryan Laporte texted in saying, you have to keep the same energy when talking about Arch too. Less than 50% completion against the Aggie defense, and his season finisher was against a bad Michigan team with no head coach. Marcel is arguably number 2 behind Chambliss.
Couple things. I have a hard time downplaying a quarterback when they beat you.
Okay.
Like just me personally, like I don't like, I like to find other ways to make my argument than the quarterback who beat you with his legs, by the way. Like, I mean, yes, I understand it's complete, but he made the throws that won the game. Yes, the guys were completely open, and he made runs that won the game. So I have a hard time going after Arch for that. You can go after Arch for other reasons.
Well,
sure.
I said before, look, I think it's when Josh Pate put him like 8th or 9th or whatever it was, I thought that was silly and inane. But if he would put him at 6, I wouldn't have had much issue because I may not agree that Arch was better. In fact, Marcel threw for more yardage than Arch. And Mateer. And they say, yeah, but he had bad thing while he was playing. But if you say Gunnar Stockton or those guys are better, okay, well, chocolate and vanilla, right? Some people, that's why they make both.
Yep.
Because people have different opinions. But, when you're going to say me what you just said about have a hard time dismissing somebody after they beat you, well, I mean, he outplayed Lenore Sellers and he outgained him all through the year, so I didn't get that, and I sure don't get saying the guys from Alabama are better.
Let me ask you this question. Marcel at his absolute best versus everybody else at their absolute best. Where's Marcel on that list? Because Marcel at his absolute best, I think is higher than, like, his upside when he is great is like what you saw against South Carolina in the second half. And then look, you can't erase the floor, right? We've seen him struggle for sure. But I'm just saying, like, when Arch is at his best, when Trinidad is at his best, I think Trinidad is number 1 at his best. That's just, he proved it last year.
If at his best, it can be just one half, right? Then, yeah, Marcel in the second half against South Carolina.
It's pretty darn good in the second half against LSU, too.
And LSU as well.
A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. So the problem, what they're going to come back and say, okay, now let's gauge them at their worst.
Okay, and I think that's fair. And that's why the word is if he raises his floor, then he is a top 3, 4, 5 quarterback in the SEC, right? It's his floor, which unfortunately happened at the end of the season, is why he gets lower ranks over some of those guys.
He's not the best quarterback in the SEC. I'm not going to homer it up and say that. I'll say this, though. If he's able to play at his best consistently, not just every now and then, but consistently, he could be the best quarterback in the SEC. I'm not saying he will be. He's got a lot to improve, but, run a little more, throw a lot, complete a few more passes and cut those interceptions. I mean,
do those 3 things, he's in the top 5.
Yeah, he probably should be anyway. But
yeah, I agree with that. 25 and 25 presented by Paragon Financial Advisors, an Aggie-owned independent fee-only fiduciary serving families, business owners nationwide. Visit paragon-adv.com. So, OB, we'll have a lot more with Billy on 25 and 25. But number 11 on the list is Marcus Ratcliffe.
Marcus Ratcliffe came here from San Diego State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember, you added this guy from San Diego State. It looked like just a throw in. Okay, I guess. Man, he's been a really, just a really nice player. What was it, 2 years ago? He had 3 interceptions?
Yeah.
So he had as many in one season as the
team.
entire team had last year. Here's the thing about Marcus. Seems to be in the right place, and he'll admit, look, he probably should have had 3 interceptions last year, and he dropped them, right? So, but we know he can catch because he's done it.
Yep.
Just a good player, good sound player. I think he was the type of guy that everything you got from him has been more. He's exceeded expectations, and he'll probably continue to do that.
Yeah. He, I like class, right? And sometimes class does not translate into a great football player. The guy's been a great football player for Texas A&M, and he's classy. And on the field, off the field, you talk to him, He's just very well spoken, very smart, very cerebral, and the dude just plays. He's on all. Do you have what preseason awards he's on? He's on everything. I feel like he's on like several preseason
as he should be.
Awards.
I don't know if he's as athletically gifted as say a Dalton Brooks. Maybe, I'm not out there with putting them through exercises and things like that. But he's just, he's a good football player. And the fact that Elko says this is the best defense at A&M that he's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about the safeties like Dalton Brooks and Byard and some of the other guys that they brought in, and yet Ratcliffe is going to be a starter.
Yep.
It seems. So I think that says everything right there.
Yeah. Do you have some of those watch lists?
He was nominated to the Werfel Trophy preseason watch list just the other day. He was also a part of the Bronco Nagurski Trophy preseason watch list. He was an On3 preseason All-American, Sports Illustrated preseason All-American as well, to name just a few of his preseason awards.
Well, and hopefully he'll be postseason All-American and things like that. But he's a heck of a football player. I mean, he's another example of a huge example of why you give Elko and his staff the benefit of the doubt about rebuilding the team, because they find guys that are, quote, under the radar, and they turn out to be stealth bombers. And he's one of them.
He is absolutely one of them. We'll have a lot more on Marcus Ratcliffe with Billy Liucci in the 10 o'clock hour. By the way, supposed to have Kellen Mond on the show at 9 a.m., so looking forward to chatting with Kellen Mond. He's into art now. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we'll talk about
I know
that.
he was playing golf yesterday with my friend Morris Carter.
Oh, yeah?
And some other players. I think Derek Frazier was out there.
D-Fray.
Isaiah Spiller might have been. Who else? Anyway, somebody else that was. Because Marcus sent me I'm looking for the. Morris sent me the Ray Mickens.
Oh, Ray Mickens.
Yeah.
Now, that was a dog.
That's a foursome right there,
Yeah.
maybe a fivesome, but yeah. He was a little dog, but he was a dog.
He was a
He
dog.
was like a pit bull. They're not that big, but man, they're dangerous.
They are dangerous.
And that was Ray Mickens.
All right, we'll hit a break here. We'll come back with Bank on It. What are we banking on, OB? There ain't anything going on. We're going to bank on that. All right, we're talking Rollo Insurance. So when you need insurance, homeowners insurance, farmers insurance, ranchers insurance, hobby farmer insurance, whatever it may be, you should have Rollo Insurance. They are all about God, family, and country. They are the very best when it comes to finding the right insurance situation for you and your family. They are right here in College Station. Their headquarters on Highway 6, but they got offices all over Texas and really all around the United States. Jason, Jackson, Keith, Morgan, the entire team there do fantastic work. So whatever kind of insurance you're looking for, let people that you can trust, people that you can contact at any time. You can text them, you can call them. You'll see them around town. Reach out to the good folks at Rollo Insurance. 888-44-ROLLO. That number again, 888-44-ROLLO, or go to rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. That's rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs.
Everybody, David Nuno here from TexAgs, here with some of our new friends from Frog Slayer. We've got the CEO, Ross Morrell, and the VP of Revenue, Jacob Stone. Ross, I want to start off with you. Who is Frog Slayer? What do you all do?
Yeah, Frog Slayer is a custom software, AI and automation company. We're based here in College Station. We've got about 50 employees right here, almost all Aggies. We've been doing this since 2005, about 21 years. Really what we do is we partner with business owners of growing businesses. And our goal is to come in, help them actually realize the promised technology in their company so they can create a company that is worth more than is tomorrow, that is today, and run a better business.
Jacob, I do want to ask you what's different about Frog Slayer's approach when it comes to AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't just do AI, we do AI right. And so what that means is we embed ourselves inside of our client's team, and we help them plan, build, and ship solutions that they can deploy to a production environment that anyone can use.
All right, Ross, I've got to ask you, why the name Frog Slayer?
Yeah, it's an old riff off Mark Twain quote. So he said, the hardest thing you got to do today is eat a frog. It's best to do it first thing in the morning. So that's kind of our ethos of doing hard things first. And it's also a nice tie into gigging.
Yeah, I love that. Jacob, let's close out. Where can we all find Frog Slayer?
Yes, you can find us online at frogslayer.com.
All right, thank you very much to both of you, Ross and Jacob. Check out Frog Slayer. Bank on It, brought to you by Vera Bank. Genuine banking when you're ready for better. Go see Joel Jackson and the team. Learn more at verabank.com. He's Olin, I'm David. Obi, what are you banking on?
I'm banking on, I have to look forward on this one, I'm going outside the state.
Okay.
I'm banking on in by 2027, maybe even sometime this year, but by 2027, somebody on the LSU football team is going to be wearing number 9. So LSU could say, no, see, Jaden, it's not because we have any issues with your somebody wearing number 5. It's that we don't let anybody, except for Billy Cannon, retire their number, or Tommy Casanova.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe don't even. So because there's Jaden Daniels is causing such an uproar about someone daring to wear his number 5 and say, well, Joe Burrow won a national championship. No one's wearing number 9.
Yep.
So why is someone wearing number 5? So they're going to say, all right, let's put number 9 on somebody to appease Jaden.
Well, I told Channel 13 when I left that nobody could wear a red tie ever again.
Ever.
That was and the fact that I saw.
And then the president goes out and does it.
Yeah, well, he could do it. He doesn't work for 13. But I told Greg Bailey.
About 13.
Yeah, at 13. No more red ties. No more red ties. You
know what? You should have worn like a bolo with like a rattlesnake bolo with maybe some turquoise in it.
I don't think I'm a bolo guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm a Rollo guy, but I don't know if I'm a bolo guy.
Yeah. Nuno with the bolo on Rollo.
No.
I think somebody should get you a bolo tie.
Yeah, I don't think they should.
I'd wear it. In
I
fact,
think they should get you one then.
I have worn one before. Yeah.
I just don't think, you have to have a certain type, right? Like, not everybody can pull off the bolo.
I know a few people that pulled off that bolo.
When you worked at Chippendales?
No. That's your fantasy, dude.
Hey, maybe it's my reality.
I mean, it might be.
Only names page.
I could be like the Chris Farley guy. Remember you saw that?
Yeah.
I could be the Chris Farley character trying to work at Chippendales.
Hey, there's a fetish for everyone. Anyway, Reese Nygren, sorry. There's probably kids still listening. Can you read the 903 text? I think he gave back-to-back, and he gave you a command.
Yeah, he did. Text 903 number said, this is Einstein again, wanting to clarify from the previous guy's call. Mississippi State wasn't awful, but they were better at the end of the season. They were only a 2-loss team because they played 4 games before A&M, and 2 were bad teams. Reese, read this, please. Also, schedule was easy, but that's not controllable. But the stats from Marcel were halfway factored by that, but don't want to take away everything from him.
I just laugh when they say the schedule's easy because in August of last year, everybody's A&M, and they got that tough schedule. They got to go up to Notre Dame. They got to go to LSU. They haven't won there since '94. You know, you got to play South Carolina. They had like 5 teams in the preseason top 15 on their schedule.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Did Texas Tech have a semi-easy schedule?
Who?
Texas Tech?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And they're in the Big 12.
Indiana, look, they kicked butt in the playoffs, but we're talking regular season for a moment. Did they have a semi-easy schedule for like top 25 teams that they face?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why is it only about Texas A&M? And by the way, Mississippi State wasn't good. They won 5 games. That, in my book, that's not good.
I look at A&M and I say, when someone like, especially from Texas, say, well, you didn't beat anybody. I say, hey, right, we just beat a team that beat you. You know, I mean, Florida beat. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The bad teams in the SEC are good. And LSU didn't quit. They didn't quit until they lost to A&M.
And I don't even know if they quit after that.
Yeah, but they changed their quarterback. He might have been hurt. He was dealing with a abdomen issue. But then they said, well, they fired their coach, and now the quarterback, okay, now the abdomen issue, I'm going to just deal with it.
My thing is, if we're going to talk about schedules, that's fine. Just keep that same energy for everybody, right? Like, I know Ohio State played Texas and they had a Big Ten schedule, but I don't know. Did they play? A&M played several top 25 teams. Yeah.
All of a sudden, that game doesn't matter.
No. Anyway, Obi, thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend. When we come back on TexAgs Live, I think we'll have Kellen Mond. Plus, we're going to hear from some pretty cool stories. TJ Searcy and Brady Hart interviewed them yesterday on The Huddle. It's TexAgs Live. All right, we're back here. It's TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It is hour number 2 of the program. We hope to get Kellen Mond here in a moment as we just kind of pivot around. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Niger, give me something good.
Friend of the program, I think people aren't very happy with him after his quarterback rankings.
Whatever.
Released his JP preseason poll and has Texas A&M at number 11, which is number 5 in the number 6 in the SEC.
Yeah.
At number 11.
I mean, I think that's fair for right now, based
One
on what
spot
we don't
behind
know.
Alabama.
I think Alabama's got a lot of questions too. I do. A lot of questions. Anyway, I've got a lot of questions for our next guest. He's got a cool thing he's doing in life. Let's go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline, joined by former Texas A&M quarterback Kellen Mond here on the program. What's up, Kellen?
What's up, guys? I appreciate y'all for having me.
Thank you, man. So, all right, you got to catch us up. I know you're doing some art, you're doing some photography. Kind of take me through it. I want to find out all about it.
Yeah, I actually got one of my artworks up here behind me, but yeah, I'm full-on transition into the full-time art world. I've been a photographer for a while, but now selling those artworks and hosting exhibitions, curating exhibitions is exactly what I'm doing. So I had an exhibition last month, back in July 10th, and had an exhibition in Austin and went really well. Actually had a lot of Aggies there, so looking to do another one hopefully before the year is out in Houston.
All right, so take me through. So you've always been into it. Like, what sparked the interest? Is this something from when you were a kid? Did it happen at A&M? Kind of take me through that.
So it actually, everything started from a photography journey standpoint when I was a rookie in the NFL, and it just started to continue to go uphill from there and continue to get better. And once sort of the football stuff started to slow down, I was like, let me see what this art stuff has in store for me. And really, when I started, I knew nothing about the fine art world. And so I think just sort of that grind that I wasn't able to get in football because I wasn't necessarily playing or on a team, I sort of fell in love with another sort of grind of building out a business. And that's what I've been fortunate to do.
So did you meet somebody that kind of brought you to this kind of thinking, or did it just happen on a whim?
I would say, throughout the path, I met some art dealers, art curators, but in terms of learning how to build a business and pretty much trying to find out what I needed to know, it was all sort of by me. And I think it was sort of that football hustle and sort of that refusal to be average. And, there's always a way to build something or get something done. It's just more so how quick can you get it done, and can it be efficient, and can you really just have a quality product?
So I'm looking at the picture behind you. Maybe in a moment you can kind of move a little bit to the side. I see the fence link. I see it looks like a truck. I mean, it's beautiful how many different layers of that picture you can see. Kind of take us through that vision, what you saw in that one.
Yeah, so this was actually taken in Cleveland, Ohio. And so Cleveland, when I was playing with the Browns, was sort of one of those main cities where I fell in love with sort of the street photography and urban landscape. And so I was living in more inner city Cleveland, and they had a lot of really cool areas that were also really different that I was able to walk around. So during one of the off seasons back in 2023, I would just walk around Cleveland whenever I had off time. And so I ended up having like over 1,000 photos just from my time being in Cleveland. And this was one of them that was at my art exhibition. And but yeah, it's just sort of, you walk around sort of, if you want to call it, random areas in what most people say random parts of town. But then you get these like awesome photos where there's a fence, a really sort of cool old fashioned car, the sort of like blend between like a really dark side and a light side. And but the fencing makes it sort of brings out that cinematic and atmospheric feel.
Did you know, like as a kid, that you had like, the way you're explaining this, like I know you're an artist, right? I can feel it the way you describe it. Like, did you know you had the ability to separate what a good, like some people just look, oh, that's a cool picture. You actually have the layers to it. Have you always been that way?
I would think there was always been sort of a level of, I don't want to say, maybe creative design, just from, I always think, a quarterback, the way his mindset works, especially if you're very intellectual and you like offenses, it's sort of a systematic way of thinking. And so the same way that a quarterback or offensive coordinator sort of pieces together plays and tries to refine plays and make them as I guess good as possible, was sort of the same thing that I felt within my creative eye, where it's like you sort of have one unique style, and then as you continue to do it, you start to realize there's so much more room for growth and sort of your way of developing what your style is. So I think there's a lot of sort of similarity between that sort of offensive mindset sort of deal, where in the creativity part, and the creative side of being a photographer.
Tell me if I'm wrong here, but while there's some similarities to being a quarterback in the artistic world, I would assume, like, being in a locker room, you're around everybody, like it's a group effort. This is a very isolated kind of you in your head kind of thing. Has that been a cool transition? Do you miss the guys? Kind of take me through that part.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff you miss. You definitely miss a locker room feel. You know, a lot of my sort of day-to-day stuff is not with athletes. It's more meeting people who are in the corporate world, which is awesome because, you know, me in the fine art space, you meet with people in every single industry, and you're not just locked down to one specific industry. So I think that's what's really cool. But, you know, there's definitely some parts where you miss within the football world. And I think it's even more than the locker room. For me, it's like the extremely extensive and intensive workouts that you get, but your coaches come up with it. You have a schedule. And so now whenever you're done with football, you're sort of thinking, do I need to do 3 sets or can I just do 2 sets? It's like, it really means nothing except for me just feeling good and not for performance reasons. And so that's really the big thing that you miss from, you know, having a set schedule and then also the locker room feel.
Sounds like you're 100% in, but if the NFL called you tomorrow, hey man, we got a spot for you, would you consider it?
I haven't thrown in a while, so I would not even, I wouldn't even be able to perform.
How do you look at life now? Like, I mean, I think you have a fiance, right?
Yeah.
So just
I have a fiance. I have a 3-year-old son as well, and so life is good. We're living up near the Woodlands in Conroe, so we're actually pretty close to campus. I'm actually planning to go to one of the practices next week, towards the end of the week. But yeah, life is good. My fiance is actually a Baylor graduate, so we there's a lot of times where she's like, should I go back and get my ring? Like, I see y'all wearing it every day, and I'm like, I don't think it means the same thing. And so we joke around a lot with that, but you know, like I said, life is good. My son is growing. He's actually been in the top 1 percentile of his height and size since he's been born. So he's 3 and he's wearing 6-year-old clothes right now. So, you know, maybe, I don't know what class he would be, but he may be A&M graduate in 20 years or so.
Heck yeah, I love to hear that. What did your time in professional football, the NFL and beyond, teach you about yourself, about the business itself?
I would say that it is a business, and I think a lot of times once you get into the game, sometimes it is sort of hard to figure out how to navigate within the space. And I think sort of one of the things that I sort of reflect on that was probably difficult once I got to the NFL is I had never been a backup in the NFL. And a lot of people are like, well, you're essentially just maybe a starter, or maybe you have the same mindset. But the mindset is a lot different. The coaches look at what a backup quarterback can do from a lot different perspective. And for me, I think I always fed off being able to be a leader of a team and be a leader of men. And a lot of times that produces a level of confidence because people believe in you. And sometimes whenever you're the backup, you're not the guy that everyone is looking for when it comes to being vocal, maybe making a play on the field. So making that adjustment where, you know, when I was in high school, I was the 5-star guy. When I was in college, obviously I played, you know, started about 3.5 years. So you jump in and initially Kirk Cousins is the guy and Shuby, and he was phenomenal, just being able to watch him. And so I think a lot of times it was sort of difficult to figure out, like, what is my maybe correct way of acting, leading, be in front of the guys, because it's more than just showing up and executing and trying to execute on a field.
Talking to Kellen Mond here on TexAgs Live. Kellen, when you look back at your time at A&M, how proud of you of the time you were here from a football perspective?
I'm extremely proud. And, you know, I think a lot of times I look back at a bunch of highs and lows, and even after my freshman year, when right now there is a huge influx in people transferring whenever things don't go right. And I think a lot of people were thinking, hey, is Kellen Mond going to transfer? He'll probably never play at A&M. And, I remember I was like, I know I'm talented. I'm a young freshman, and I know there's a lot more room for growth, and I'm going to be able to reach that growth and then continue to get better. Obviously, when we knew Jimbo was coming in. And so, I'm proud of being able to just continue to be resilient and persistent with the work and not being satisfied until, my time is to leave. And then the other thing I think that sort of goes unnoticed is just my ability to stay healthy, even when I took extreme hits. We've had, even throughout college football, so many players who get hurt, college quarterbacks who get hurt, and you see a huge downward spiral whenever those quarterbacks do get hurt. And so obviously I took some extreme hits but I never missed a practice. And I think I only missed one play, which was against Clemson in 2018, when I caught the cramps and had to come off the field. And so, again, looking back at just how resilient and how tough, and then the other players fed off of it. And, that's why I think one of the big reasons we were able to have so much success in 2020, because we've had guys who have just sort of been through the grind, been through the program. And a lot of those guys who were starting and playing in 2020 were actually on the field in 2017 when we're at Florida and at not South Carolina, at some of these other road games. And we're all 18-year-old kids just running out there trying to figure college football out. So, but yeah, the toughness and resilience is one of the things that I hope people recognize from my days at A&M.
Kellen, I'm glad you brought that up because you come up on the show often. And I always wonder to myself if things could have gone differently for Jimbo had quarterbacks stayed healthy. We went from 2020, where you played every game, and you through your whole career you played every game, to every year 3 quarterbacks, 2 quarterbacks, 3 quarterbacks, until last year Marcel staying healthy for the entire year. And I often wonder if quarterback health would have been what you had during his time at A&M, if maybe this latter half of his career could have gone differently.
We'll never know. But, I think we saw what we were able to do in 2020, and we did have a lot of veteran guys. And, I just spoke to the Houston A&M club, and I mentioned a lot of the guys were depending on me and saying, hey, if you go to the NFL, most of us are going. And if you come back, then we're all coming back. And I think we probably only would have lost one guy that year if I would have decided to come back. But I was like, the NFL's calling my name, and we just came off an awesome bowl win, and it's, for me, it was like, strike while the iron's hot. You're just came off your best season, number 4 team in the country, just stayed healthy, which is a huge thing. But in terms of Jimbo, it's one of the things you never know. But I think he was able to develop me, and I've been extremely proud of, the stuff that we went through for the 3 years that I was there, and just sort of just kind of chirping away at, you start off as a sophomore and there's some inefficiencies and you're sort of trying to develop a skill set and style, and then continue to progress, where 2020, we're one of the most efficient passing teams in the country. And one of the big things, we sort of just lacked the explosiveness, but Caleb Chapman went down early in the year. Anias, who was at running back, we had to move him to receiver. Obviously, Jamon Osmond opts out. And so we had a lot of pieces, whether they weren't there because of opt-out or injuries, or, people who are younger, who are really talented, who are battling injuries. So, that 2020 team was resilient and probably one of the most underrated teams, and probably still won't get the credit from the Aggie world that it gets.
Do you ever regret not coming back, or you look at life? I assume you look at life this way. There's a plan, right? And it worked out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, there was a plan, and it was one of the things where I knew I was coming up on my senior year because of the COVID year. Guys were able to come back, but I knew with how well we were playing, and I think everyone has a goal of being able to get to the NFL. And I think a little bit of it changes now whenever college players are able to get paid sometimes more than what the NFL players are getting. But yeah, there was never no regrets. And, even, whenever I hugged Jimbo after we won in the Orange Bowl, which was a really, really big moment But in that moment, Jimbo knew at the time, and he was like, we got back to the locker room. He's like, hey, anything you need after this. So before I even told him I was going to the NFL, he knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Orange Bowl was a special moment, and had a lot of special players who are now playing in the NFL on second contracts. I think Devon Chain either just signed one of his big contracts, and the NFL just released him as the 26th best player in the NFL, which was, we saw, but I think it also goes to show Jimbo's recruiting and other staff members who were such great recruiters. But Jimbo didn't care about stars, and he went and saw, a Fort Bend team and saw a really electric guy who had a lot of talent. And that's the same way he found Anais at Dulles and, a bunch of other guys who were not as highly rated in the 5-star guys.
Kellen, what do you think about the job Coach Elko's done here in a couple years?
I've been extremely proud. And obviously, if anyone who knew how good Elko was going to be, it would be me, because I went against his defense for 3 straight years. And then I always look at sort of just the staff and the people that he keeps around him, and always had a lot of respect. And I'm, really close with Coach Coach Stan, who are both on the defensive side of the ball. And there were so many times when I was playing, whether it's a sophomore year when I was still younger or a senior year, where me and Elko, not during a game, but maybe a practice, we come off the field and I would be asking him about certain blitzes and how he was able to hit home, or maybe what I saw and how I was able to protect against a blitz that maybe the defense showed their disguise too early or something like that. And so, there was always a constant respect and dialogue between me and Coach Elko. And so to see him now get a head coaching job at A&M, see him being able to, build a program, started off well, had a really good second year. And, now some of those guys who were there when he first got here are now big time players and going to be big time players for us coming up on this season. And so I'm really excited about the defense. I'm really excited about the offense and seeing what they can do from, a schematic standpoint, and seeing sort of what are the changes from Klein to, a new offensive coordinator. Obviously, they work together, but now you being the offensive coordinator, you can change things how you want, call plays how you want. And sort of, I think that's sort of going to be the big thing, sort of seeing what does the scheme look like, and then really how do you make adjustments as the season goes on.
Kellen, last thing for you. I sometimes feel like there's some parallels between you and Marcel in the fact that nationally, sometimes people just underrate what your value was. Marcel had a really good year last year, and obviously the ending wasn't great, and I hate that I have to say that sometimes. I don't even need to say that. That being said, do you see those parallels from his highs and maybe some of the ways people evaluate him?
Yeah, I do. And I think it's not just me and Marcel. I think it, for whatever reason, is an A&M thing. And I think it's the same reason we didn't make the playoffs in 2020. If Ohio State would have had a 9-1 record and would have beaten the teams that, we beaten, and, they lost to Alabama, the same score that we did, and we caught them right after Caleb Chapman Caleb Chapman was there, but earlier in the season, so not as much film. And so, I sort of see some of those similarities. And, we always say, and, me and a bunch of A&M guys talk about, if Devon Chain was at Ohio State or Georgia, somewhere where, maybe even at Alabama when Saban was there, probably would have been a first-round pick. And some of these other guys, Damani Richardson would have been a higher draft pick, and he's still playing in the NFL and still, doing exactly what he needs to do. So I think, whether guys that I played with or guys after that we see not getting the respect that they deserve. And it's more than, me and Marcel, but, I don't think the players care. I don't think that Elko cares. If you go ask Elko about the season or even how good we will be, and, maybe he'll tell y'all certain things, but when we talk, he's like, hey, we'll see when we get on the field against these guys. And he's very open-minded, and he's has the ability to make adjustments. And I think that's one of the reasons Elko is great and only going to continue to get better.
Any future plans for a gallery here in College Station?
There's been talks about doing, certain things maybe centered around football, the football season. There are a few galleries, one in the MSC and then maybe another one on campus. But maybe it'll be something along the lines of a pop-up. But for me, it was always, if I could do things in Houston or maybe even Dallas, you're still going to get all of the Aggies there because it's such a main hub. And, even in my neighborhood up here, it's Aggies in all throughout the neighborhood, which is awesome. And so, maybe sometime in the future and, maybe doing something within Kyle Field, but yeah, definitely something down the line.
Kellen, man, this was a great conversation. Thanks for making a few minutes. Looking forward to seeing more of your work here in the future, and let's get you back on at some point.
Sounds good. Would love it. Yeah, keep me posted, and would love to get on. Maybe once the season gets rolling around.
You got it, man. Thanks again for your time. Appreciate you, Kellen.
Appreciate you.
Kellen Mond there on the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Great conversation. I didn't think I was going to hold him for 21 minutes, but we just kept on getting good stuff. So thank you to Kellen. Really appreciate it. We'll hit a break. We're going to hear from TJ Searcy. We're going to hear from Brady Hart. We got a lot to get into here in the 9 o'clock hour before Billy Liucci joins us. Right now, if you're looking for real peace of mind when it comes to your money, check out the good people there at Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas. No sales pitches, no commissions, just honest financial planning and investment management. And what sets them apart is the over 9 CFPs, the CFA and the CPA. And these folks take their credentials seriously. They work tirelessly to help you build a future that you can feel good about. Go to paragon-adv.com or give them a call at 979-693-3907 to schedule your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. Everyone, David Nuno here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever, and also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group, and they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports, and they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent, no-pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it. Had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned, and that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs, and remember, gig 'em. As a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That's at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We are going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggieland since 1984 with your favorite pizza. And, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls, reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com, and your favorites are on their way. So yesterday, got to catch up with TJ Searcy, talked a little bit about the defensive line, the things he's working on, things he's growing. So let's check it out. Here's my interview with TJ Searcy on The Huddle. Hey everybody, and welcome into The Huddle, brought to you by TexAgs and United. Our guest is TJ Searcy. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
You good?
Yes, sir. Doing good, pretty good.
So a week into fall camp, how are things developing?
1 week down. I mean, everything looking pretty good so far. I feel like everybody giving good effort. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody putting their best foot forward to be the best team we could be.
Do you read what people say or hear what people say about A&M? Do you pay attention to it?
Honestly, nah, not really.
No?
I don't really see too much of whatever they're saying about us.
Yeah, I mean, most of it's been pretty positive, but some of the questions are, hey, how are they going to replace an offensive line? How are they going to replace the defensive line? So many guys going to the pros. So I'll just ask you, why do you think this defensive line is going to be a bunch of dogs?
I mean, I'm seeing it every day. The people we brought out the portal, they work hard. They work really hard. They played a lot of football before. So I feel like the guys that left, we got people who also have played snaps like as well. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? We got people with experience still. It's not like freshmen coming to fill the old role.
And if a freshman or a sophomore gets on the field, it's because they've earned it, because they're playing like straight men.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And even like the freshman class we brought in as well, like, yeah, them not regular freshmen.
Yeah. So this is your second year here at A&M. What feels different for you?
Honestly, this year it feels a lot similar to last go around. I say the main difference for me now is just I'm a little bit more comfortable here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll speak out a little more. I won't really be scared to say whatever I'm thinking to any of my teammates anymore.
Well, is that maybe because when you first got here, you're just kind of learning the ropes, make sure you kind of get the respect of your teammates. Now that you have it, you're like, all right, guys, it's time to go to work.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a great like example of exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Pretty much just like had to kind of see where I fit in with the team, and then after I earned that respect, now I feel like I can say whatever I need to say.
So you had a really nice year last year. Have we seen the best of TJ Searcy, or we're about to see the best of TJ Searcy?
God willing, we about to see it this year. For sure, God willing.
So where have you improved your game, you think?
Honestly, I feel like I improved my game the most this offseason in my pass rush ability. That's the main thing what I've improved on this offseason, but that's not it. Like, I got better at my get off. Just playing with more confidence has helped me a lot to use my length and my strength that I have. So, yeah, for sure, I think I got way better at doing that.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, you got Anto, you got Marco, you got a bunch of guys that can get after the quarterback. So if they double somebody's going to get through, right?
That's what it should be, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And it could come from the interior too, right? Isn't DJ
anywhere.
showing some things?
Definitely. DJ, CJ, Jello, Landon Rink, all, like, it's a lot of D tackles that's putting some good work in right now for us, for sure.
So last year, as you were kind of observing and kind of growing in your role and your place in the team, you saw a lot of talent around you. What can you assess about the talent around you here at Texas A&M, all around, not just the D-line and the edges, but just everybody?
I'm sorry, you saying like
just how much talent does this A&M team have?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got talent all over the place, from the back end, the linebackers, all the way down to the trenches. So I feel like we got people that's on both sides, offense and defense. We got real playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you never really know at practice. Like you might do everything you're supposed to do at practice, but it's just a playmaker's gonna make a play.
Right.
For sure.
So last year, one of the issues was sometimes teams would break off a big play, big run. How much of an emphasis has that been for the entire defense?
Yeah, we definitely have been focusing a lot on stopping the run. This year, that's one of the main things we've been focusing on, along with takeaways and penalties. We're trying to get more takeaways and focus more so on stopping the run and stop our penalties. And then if we do that, I think we'll be in the position that we need to be.
Before you got to A&M, were you aware of the rich history of defensive linemen who get drafted and get after the quarterback? Like, this is, even before Coach Elko got here, this university has been known, and was that maybe a selling point for you?
To be honest, I didn't really know like all the greats that came from here before I like got into the transfer portal, but that was definitely something that helped me like look at A&M a lot more. Yeah, definitely.
So what is it about Coach Elko and his style, and obviously the entire coaching staff, that makes these defenses so relentless?
Elko he's very smart.
Yeah.
Coach Elko, I think as far as his defensive plays that he calls on, there's not really nothing offense can do because somebody's coming free, and it's just like the plays that he's drawn up, like, and it's not really no way to block.
Is it hard to pick up the defense?
You saying like learn it?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was, but there's different pieces to the defense. Like my position might be a little bit easier to learn than, maybe the jack position. Like 'cause they might got a little bit more pieces to it. But honestly, I don't feel like it's that hard. Like all the guys that come out, we don't really have people that's having trouble with the playbook for real. Everybody pretty much gets it.
Is your mindset, let me go get after the quarterback? That's what I'm here to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to win. That's my mindset first and foremost. I want to win. And whatever I can do to help my team win, I'm trying to do that. So stop the run, yeah, for sure. Stop that run first and then go get a sack.
Talk to me about the offensive line. You went against a bunch of dudes that went to the NFL. It's a new offensive line. Got some transfers came in, got some young guys ready to step up. You go against them at practice. What can you tell me about this group?
I think our offensive line looks really good. The players we brought in throughout the portal, whether they be from the LSU or South Carolina, we got a lot of SEC caliber linemen that came in to replace the people who went to the draft. So I feel like our offensive line will be very solid this year.
And that offense can still move?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You look at me like, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
They got talent everywhere, right?
Yeah, they definitely can, for sure. We got, receivers came in. We got a couple tight ends that's stepping up looking good. So, I think the offense is going to look good this year for sure.
As a player, do you look at the schedule and like pay attention, or is it like week of, all right, who we got? All right, let's go. Like,
I look at the schedule a little bit, like just to see, like, you know what I'm saying, who we got. But as far as like worrying about it, not really. Like just for like game planning wise, that's the only reason I really look at the schedule.
How important is it for you to have a big year to go to the NFL?
It means a lot to me this year for sure. I feel like if I had the year I'm supposed to have this year, then it'll set me up to, you know what I'm saying, be in a decent position in the NFL.
How do you look back at your decision to come to A&M? Have you enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, I feel like it was a great decision for sure. Definitely.
What are you studying in school?
Leadership.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know what leadership means, but what does that mean for you? Like, obviously you're going to have a 10, 15-year NFL career, make a bunch of Pro Bowls, make a bunch of money. But from a career standpoint, what do you want to do with leadership?
As far as me, I want to start my own business after I get done playing football. Like, I'm not really sure what field I was started in, but I know I want to have my own like business and be running a company like that I created.
Well, I think whatever you run, it's gonna be great, man. Especially if you run after those quarterbacks.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, TJ.
For sure.
TJ Searcy here on the Huddle on TexAgs. All right, appreciate TJ Searcy's time here on the program. We'll hit a break. We'll come back. We'll do another one. We'll do Brady Hart on the other side. Right now, we're talking about heritage films. Agriculture families understand something that city folks often miss, that life moves fast. And if you're not capturing those moments, if you're not bottling them up, you're going to miss them, and you're not going to be able to let the future generations know about it. So I recommend reaching out to Chance McClain and his team at Heritage Films. They do people's stories. It could be a ranch story. It could be a family business story. It can just be your dad's awesome story. Everybody's got a great story. All of us do. And I highly recommend reaching out to Chance and having this 2-hour documentary done for your family. He can be an eye in the sky at a family event. You guys do Thanksgiving together. You do a turkey bowl. You guys get together on Aggie football Saturdays and tailgate together. Let Chance and his team tell that story and pass it down to the future generations. It's something your grandkids and their grandkids are going to really, really enjoy. The website is yourheritagefilm.com. That is yourheritagefilm.com. Call them up, 713-893-8341, 713-893-8341. All right, one more interview to run from you from the huddle yesterday. So I talked to Brady Hart, and I saw the reaction on the boards. People really loved that interview. He was great, just a very thoughtful young man. And I think you're going to learn a lot about him here in this interview as he talks about his approach, the mental side, and also off the field. Here's my interview on the huddle with Brady Hart. Everybody, and welcome into the huddle, brought to you by TexAgs and United. Our guest is Brady Hart. What's up, Brady?
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. So my first chance to talk to you, the first thing I noticed, and I even made a comment, you don't strike me as a 18-year-old. Mm-hmm. Been here a year and a half. You're very, like, I don't know, you speak more mature. Were you, you have younger siblings, I understand, but are you the oldest?
I am. I'm the oldest. I mean, I have amazing parents.
Yeah.
And I like to think they raised me the right way and gave me a little bit of maturity, I would say.
Yeah, well, I can hear it when you speak. So let's just talk about where things are right now. Fall camp's been going on for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys look?
I mean, it's been amazing. We got guys working our tail off. It's hot as heck out there, but that doesn't stop the work. And it's been pretty awesome just to see. Like last year was a different group of guys, more like experienced group of guys, and it's like this year it's a whole different side of it. A bunch of new guys, but it's still that same work ethic. And Coach Elko said it today, like the standard's the standard, and like no matter who we got out there, it's still the same standard. So it's been pretty awesome.
So let's talk about your mindset where you are right now. Mm-hmm. So come in at 17 years old, in January, right? If I remember correctly. You're now a year and some change into it. Mm-hmm. How are things this fall camp mentally for you, as opposed to about a year ago?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, I feel like I kind of approached it the same way. You know what I mean? Like, it's still like, I just feel like I'm trying to be a sponge. Like, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can because there's I have such a long way to go when it comes to the learning process to being the best player I can be. You know what I mean? And like the quarterback position, like the learning never stops. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty awesome that like I just get to have another fall camp. We're so blessed that we get to like breath in our lungs. I get to go out again for another fall camp, and like I've been making some good strides and trying my best to grow in certain aspects of my game on my mental side of it, and also the physical side, like being able to make different throws this year and all that stuff.
So do you lean on Marcel? Because I mean, he's kind of gone through all the seasons you can go through. Waited for an opportunity, didn't play much. Came in the LSU game, did his thing, has been a starter since. Have you kind of talked to him and just his mindset of the waiting part, the learning part, and then the application part?
Yeah, Sel's amazing. I mean, I'd hope you guys, like, I'm sure you guys are around him and all this stuff, but he's like one of the better humans on the planet. Mm-hmm. And it's just like amazing to have that guy there, just to like be around him and the way he goes about his business. He's a great guy to learn from. And we just like, I mean, it's a good way to compete. And a good person to lean on, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't, he's going to tell you to straight and like find ways that he can help you and help me grow, which has been awesome.
I asked him yesterday at the presser if things had slowed down. He said absolutely. The readings and just making sure guys are in the right spot. For you in a kind of a different role, how much is that part of it? Like how much has seeing and scanning the field slowed down for you?
No, it's like it's night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, things are going so fast. And things are going so fast your freshman year. It was going fast. And I feel like every practice, it slowed down.
Okay.
And the same thing this year. Feels like it's going half the speed this year. And I'm slowing down and seeing things that I didn't see last year and finding one-on-one balls and like knowing if it's at this coverage, this is going to be open and all that stuff. And it's getting slower and slower and slower. And it's allowing me to play fast.
For somebody who hasn't seen you play, what would you say? Who would you say your game compares to? Is there an NFL guy? Is there a college guy that you say, you know what, I'm kind of like this, but I do this like this?
Yeah, I don't know comparison wise. Like I don't know an exact guy to compare myself to, but I just think number one things I'm going to compete and I'm going to put everything I have into it just to give our team the best chance to win, whether that's running the football, whether that's throwing the football. Like I just want to win, and that's the most important thing to me. So just a competitor. I think that describes my game as a whole.
What can you tell me about this offense? Holman Wiggins leading the charge now. There's some different wrinkles that he brings, but a lot of it's going to look similar to what we saw last year. What's your interpretation of it?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I love Coach Wig. Like he's been around some really good offenses, and he's poured so much football knowledge onto us, and along with Coach Lynch and Coach Korn and our quarterback room, and like we've had a jump in like the I would say our job, like we've had more on the quarterbacks this year, and when it comes to just the run game and protection stuff and pass game, and like, but we're learning the why instead of just like, hey, you see this look, this is what you got to do. We're learning the why behind why we're doing these things, and it's been amazing. Like I feel like we've grown as a quarterback room this off season and through the fall camp.
I think that's interesting you say the why, because oftentimes a coach or a teacher will tell you do this because.
Yep.
But when you understand the why, it allows that application in different circumstances, right?
Exactly. Because football is like, it's one of those things you're never going to see the same look this over and over. It's like there's different guys here and different leverage and different stuff. But when you understand the play that you're trying to run, like, and you understand why you're doing it, you can get your team in the most productive play.
Am I right? You're the one who threw the ball to Terry that kind of caught all the buzz. Did you throw that pass to Terry?
The one where he caught one-handed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So just talk about Terry's camp.
Yeah. I mean, Terry's the man. I mean, he's like a hard worker. He worked so hard this offseason. I mean, obviously you guys have seen like how big he's got, really strong kid, and he understands football really well, and just like his physical attributes allow him to be elite, but I think it's his understanding of the game that really makes him a good football player.
And you got a lot of weapons too. I mean, if you can talk a little bit about the opportunity to throw to all those guys, and obviously a very great stable of running backs also.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys to even name. I mean, like Isaiah Horton, ABR. I mean, young guys. We got Terry. We got AG, Jaden Warren, Kelshawn, TK. Like, it's just unbelievable how many elite players that we have, and it's easy as a quarterback when you have confidence in your receiver that they're going to go win. You know what I mean? Like, we just need to set the protection and find where we need to go, and we knowing that our receiver is going to win our one-on-one or whatever. So it's pretty awesome to have those guys. And then our running back room's been awesome too. J-Mo and Rube and KJ and Carson, and it's pretty awesome. Like, we got a good crew.
Well, the front line is what matters, right? So talk to me about the offensive line. Those guys are coming in, and there's some new pieces, but all have experience at other places, and the young guys have been growing as well.
Yeah, I mean, those guys know that they're my favorite. The offensive line, those guys are my favorite. Those are the guys that keep me upright. You know what I mean? Like, the play starts and ends with those guys, and everyone thinks, oh, the quarterback's the most like important player on the field. No, it's those guys. You know what I mean? Like, they run the show when it comes to like, if we're having a successful play, it's because those guys did their job. And they've had a great camp. Every single one of those guys is working hard and ready to roll.
Not really a question I want to ask you, but just kind of a thought process. A year ago today, you look at that roster. You probably thought, yeah, we can be pretty good, and you guys ended up being pretty good. You look at this roster right now, you're practicing with them. You know, what kind of opportunities do you see in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, it's sky's the limit. Like Coach Elko will say this all the time. Like, we have all the talent and ability to do anything we want to do, and it's just going to come down to like our level of execution and us holding each other accountable to be the best people and players that we can be. So I think it's going to come down to like execution. Like, we have all the talent and all the ability to do it, and we just got to keep chipping away each day and growing. And if we execute, we're going to be a really, really good football team.
Do you remember when and how you fell in love with football?
That's a really good question. I'd say probably when I was like 10 or 12.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I begged my mom to let me play tackle football. I started playing when I was 8, but I begged my mom to let me play tackle football, and I played tight end for a little bit, and I liked tight end, but once I started playing quarterback, and that was just my favorite. I mean, we would get like we weren't a very good little league team. Like, we were not very good, but just like the excitement that I would get on Saturdays. You call it like the Coach Lynch said the other day, it's like the donut game, and you play it like 11 o'clock on a Saturday, and it's just hot as it can be. You're sweating, and you're like a 10-year-old kid, and it's the best thing that you've ever, like, that was one of the best memories ever. And that's what I still feel. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much stress and stuff that people try to like put on us, but I still feel the same way when I walk out on that football field, that it's just like the game I've always loved. So
never changed, man. I love that answer. It's a great answer.
Yeah.
Were you always better than everybody, or was there a point where you're like, okay, I might be able to play at a high level?
Well, I mean, I think that, I feel like I was always a good athlete and a good football player. But I think when I got to high school, I kind of realized that there was maybe a future. But like when I was a freshman, like I was on JVs at the bench, and didn't have a chance to like really even play on varsity. Like I'd get 1 or 2 reps in varsity practice, and I'm like,
all right, for more of that interview,
like,
go to TexAgs.com. That was fun, though. I really enjoyed talking to Brady. We'll hit a break, short final segment before Billy joins us here on TexAgs Live. Let's talk about Guaranteed Bank and Trust. They've been around for a long time, since 1913. So over a century of experience helping Texans as a community bank. They're the most respected community bank in Texas. They have 3 great locations in College Station, but they're all over the place, guys. You'll find them all over Texas, from East Texas to DFW to Houston, Central Texas, you name it. And when you walk into a Guaranteed Bank and Trust, you just know that you're going to have local people making local decisions, right? Not some corporate tower in New York helping. No, these are folks that are from Texas. And here in College Station specifically, you've got Brandon, who runs the show. He's amazing. Brandon Sears, he's an Aggie and is part of this community. He's helping call the shots, right? And everybody that you go visit there at Guaranteed Bank and Trust, they're all part of this community making those local decisions. Remember, gnty.com. That website again, gnty.com. It is Guaranteed Bank and Trust, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are back. It is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. I lied to Reese Nygren. We don't have 2 minutes. We've got 1 minute. So, do you think that topic should be weighted?
I think that.
So should we do what's popping on TexAgs today?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do TexAgs today right now. So obviously those NIL interviews with Brady Hart and TJ Searcy are on TexAgs as well, in case you missed it during the show. We also have an NIL interview with volleyball middle blocker and Boise State transfer Eliza Sharp, if you missed it on Kay Nagley's social media accounts. Connor O'Gara's article addressing the discourse on Marcel Reed. Player press conferences with Noah McHale and Wilkin Formby that you heard tidbits from in the Go Hour. And OB's write-up on the new look offensive line. Later today and this weekend, we will have an NIL interview with softball star Maya Perez. Continued fall football coverage. We'll have coverage of the A&M versus Baylor women's soccer match on Sunday. And then next week, volleyball content will ramp up even more as they begin the season just 1 week from today.
Good stuff there, Nygren. Appreciate you. We'll hit a break. When we come back on TexAgs Live, we'll probably talk. And then Billy Liucci will be on the show. It's TexAgs. I should probably know this song. I don't know it, but I kind of like it. Who is it?
Toby Keith.
That's Toby?
Yeah, that is Toby.
Good old Toby.
I ain't as good as I once was.
Well, I know.
But I'm
Nick.
as good once as I ever was.
I thought you were talking about yourself there, son. My bad. It is TexAgs Live.
Good one.
Well, that's what I thought. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio, and Billy Liucci should be joining us at some point today. Right now, though, you know who's joining us? Reese Nygren at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. And I know you got a text for Billy later, but you've got a cool topic to get into.
I do have an interesting topic to get into. So CBS Sports college football writer Blake Brockermeyer,
not familiar,
gave his top 150 players in all of college football.
Okay.
There are 4 Aggies on that list.
4 Aggies.
I would like you to guess who the highest rated one.
The highest rated one I know.
And at what number they're at.
Okay, I probably won't know that, but I'm going to try. The highest rated ones, because I would assume nationally, the highest rated guy, Mario Craver.
It is Mario Craver.
37.
Lower.
46.
A little lower.
52.
54.
54. Okay.
Mario Craver is number 54 on the top 150
I think that's a little
players.
low.
Right below Josh Hoover of Indiana, and right above the man in front of all the controversy, DJ Pickett at LSU.
All right. I again, this is very hard to.
It's
like I don't know every college football player
is-
ever, or right now, and it would be hard for me to like list it. But I'm assuming Mario Craver is in the top 30 football players in the country.
Yes.
That's just my guess at the moment.
Yep.
Okay. I would say number 2.
It's a huge gap between 1 and 2.
Oh, now you ruined the way. Well,
sorry.
Marcel Reed.
Marcel Reed.
Marcel Reed. Based on what you just said there, 81.
110th.
I hate this list.
110th.
Brockermeyer.
110th on the list, right behind Bryce Fitzgerald, 2 spots below Whit Weeks, and a whopping, believe, 60 spots below Sam Levitt at LSU.
Okay, if Marcel's second all the way down, so while Billy puts on his mic, reset what we're doing so he can kind of hear.
So we are doing the top 150 players in college football, an article posted by CBS Sports, guessing who from A&M is on the list and where they are at on the list. We so far have Mario Craver as the highest rated Aggie at number 54.
Ridiculous.
And Marcel Reed is the second highest rated Aggie at number 110.
Okay. So far this list is stupid.
Well, if that's an accurate list, this won't be a good football team this year, so we know that.
Yeah.
So hopefully that list is as inaccurate as it seems. But I mean, look, what are you doing?
I'm hearing you like 2 seconds later.
Delayed.
Well, then I'll stop talking.
No, I like
until
you
I
talking.
fit. So keep going.
No, we'll just take off my headset. Nick will fix it.
Why do you need to hear me 2 seconds later when I'm sitting 2 feet from you?
It's fixed. We're good.
But I'm saying, why does it?
Because
you can hear me.
And then I hear
in
you
real
again.
time.
I hear you in real time, and then for some reason there was a delay.
So
But-
why do you have that in while I'm talking?
Because sometimes Nick has to communicate with me. Sometimes we have
Y'all
a
are
caller.
running NASA over here.
We had Kellen Mond earlier.
I've
It would be
wanted a
hard to
new
hear
set.
him.
I've wanted a new set for a year. We can't get like a change-up alternate one, but we've got NASA going on in the back. We're changing some things up this fall for the look, by the way, so get ready.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Are
we're
you-
going to do. Well, eventually we're going to build out that other room, which I thought maybe we could get some progress done in a year plus, but didn't appear that happened. Well, a year plus since I really gave them ideas of what I wanted and exactly kind
It's
of how I
coming.
saw it.
We talk about it.
They've cleaned the room out, is what's happening. So, a little bit. And then over here, so we're going to do something. I guess this desk rolls, so we've got different setups we can do actually right here. So we're going to try that out.
I appreciate that. So let's finish the list.
Not for your show, but just for other, maybe luchador, like things you're involved in, but not for this actual show. This, to me, is a big desk show. We want other shows that aren't big desk shows.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Finish off the list.
So we're guessing here. The next Aggie.
I mean, how many players do they list?
There's four Aggies on the list. Mario Craver's the highest at number 54. Marcel Reed is number 2 at number 110.
Do they put DJ Hicks?
Antosaka.
Not on
Ratcliffe.
there. Not on there.
Dalton Brooks.
Not
Isaiah
on there.
Horton.
Isaiah Horton is the fourth rated Aggie at number 143.
So I'm missing.
So there is one player sandwiched in between
Damian
Marcel Reed.
Sanford?
It is not Damian Sanford.
Dalton Brooks.
It is not
I
Dalton
already
Brooks.
said him. Desrick.
It is not Des Ricks.
Wilkin Formby.
It is not Wilkin Formby.
Ruben Owens.
It is not Ruben Owens.
Terry
ABR.
Bussey.
It is not Terry Bussey or ABR.
Interesting.
It
Now
is-
we're getting interesting.
David Olano.
I'll let y'all
Mark
keep-
Naboo.
Nope. Neither one of those.
Somebody's out there yelling the pick out, like listening to us right now. O-line. It's not an O-lineman, right?
It is an O-lineman.
It is.
It is an O-lineman not named Mark Naboo or Wilkin Foreman.
Tyree.
It is not Tyree Adams.
Cohen Eccles.
It is Cohen Eccles.
Interesting.
Cohen Eccles is listed at number 121 on the list, right? Interesting spot, I would say.
Can I ask?
I think the whole list sucks.
Stupid. Blake
It's
Brockermeyer.
trash. Blake Brockermeyer.
You're wrong.
Where is he even playing now?
No, this is the writer.
This is the writer.
Blake Brockermeyer.
Blake Brockermeyer is the writer.
The offensive lineman.
Is the writer of this article for CBS Sports.
The Texas Longhorn.
Okay. Is it the same Blake Brockermeyer, or do they just share a name? Let's do a little Google search.
Do a little research. That'd be interesting.
So let me just say this.
I mean,
how can seriously, say what you want about Marcel, the 6th best quarterback in the SEC, 8th best quarterback in the SEC, whatever, 3rd best quarterback in the SEC, a guy who was a Heisman contender for 10 weeks.
They've erased that from history.
Yeah, that didn't happen apparently. How can he be 110th in college football? It just doesn't, the math
I mean,
math.
look, here's what I've decided. I've listened, I've watched, I've read. People are unanimously almost hating on A&M, which is interesting because the coaches voted them number 8. The SEC media voted them 4th in the SEC, which in theory means they believe that the Aggies will be a playoff team. And I believe the AP will have them anywhere from
9 to 12.
8 to 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't think they'll be as high in the coaches because what's happened, here's why that won't be, because all these dumbasses are sheep and they're all just their herd mentality. And so everything they've heard from the time they saw A&M picked 8th until now is going to be 150% negative about Texas A&M from the national loudest of the talking heads. 150% negative about Marcel Reed. So the herd mentality media are going to vote them a little lower. I predict them to come in, right around 10 or 11, which, by the way, I don't even think that's insulting at all. Again, if you're going to tell me that Texas A&M is a top 10 team, even if it's at 10, after losing 7 of 9 on the line of scrimmage and replacing an offensive coordinator and 10 NFL draft picks when they haven't proven yet that they're Ohio State or, Alabama or Georgia, where they just keep recycling these guys, or Oregon of late, then I get it. Like 10 is fine. 11 is fine. Like it's not disrespectful at all. It's not insulting. I think Aggie players should have a chip, but I think they should anyway with the way last season ended. And they want to win a championship, and they want to win a playoff game, and they want to get to Atlanta after coming close the last 2 years. And they want to beat Texas. All of these things. Being number 8 versus number 11, it's not the insult. What I do think is getting over the top is it's just everyone is singling A&M out as that team. It's kind of taken on a life of its own. And you got to ask yourself as you sit here, like, how much of that is honest evaluation, in terms of, hey, I just don't like, I'll take, for example, I think Brandon Walker at Barstool is loud and obnoxious, and he does it on purpose. And I like Brandon, but he's loud and obnoxious, and he does it on purpose. And he wants to piss off Aggies, and he'll pick another team after a month into the season that he wants to piss off, and there'll be another one and another one. And right now, going into the season, it's A&M. But if you truly listen to his reasons why, and pull aside all the ranting and raving and the rage bait to try to get Aggies to respond and then make fun of them for responding, pull all that out, right? What's he saying? He talks about losing most of both lines of scrimmage, I've heard him say it specifically. He does not say Marcel is not. He says Marcel's a good quarterback, not great, in his opinion. So that's the opinion there. I disagree, but I don't think that's not an insulting thing to say. He'll throw in last year that A&M was a fraud, da-da-da-da-da. We could argue all day about that, and I've had conversations with him about it. But as far as the other thing he'll say is the schedule. He'll say they were gifted, whatever words he's using that incite emotion. The reality is what he's saying is they got a lot tougher schedule this year than they did last year in the conference. And that is absolutely accurate. Now, there's a big drop between road Notre Dame and home Arizona State. And that was part of the schedule, right? That was absolutely part of the schedule. And by the way, last year going into the season, when we played Notre Dame, I had a conversation with that same guy who happened to be very high on A&M. And what we talked about a lot was the lines of scrimmage. So the reasons why people are skeptical on A&M, I actually understand it. And I think it's fair and reasonable. Now, I see some things that fall out of fair and reasonable. When, I think it's unlikely that they're the team that plummets out of the top 25. I don't think that's where they're going to be. I think having Marcel, it's an interesting argument at quarterback in the SEC rankings, right? Like, Pate had him at 8, and he had the Alabama quarterback, and so did Chud Elliott. They had him at 8. You like that? Or did he didn't even have him in there, right? Or where did he have him? But
10, maybe?
But here's the thing to me with Marcel. There's a lot of quarterbacks you could argue, and he's in that. What is that?
I keep seeing you look at the shirt. You've
What
done it
is
like
that?
5 times.
The hell is that?
He's talking to me. He's like this. Every time.
And where'd you get it?
One of our listeners, Michael Yuri, made it because if you remember last year on a post-game show, I said, nicknames for Elko, LKO, because he knocking fools out. And Yuri made this shirt, sent it to me. He made one for
cool.
OB that says, what do you call it? The Aggie Conda?
Aggie Conda.
For OB, because he said,
I like it.
yeah, so quality shirt.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I like it, yeah. But it's not just something. I thought it was I literally thought it was like a superhero shirt when I looked at it.
But you did it like 3 times. You're
I was like, what the hell? So, but and again, I'll say the same thing I said about the teams. I put Trinidad 1. I don't have questions about Trinidad. I have questions about the guys calling the plays and the guys putting them in the position to succeed. I got Arch 2. If I have to see Cam Coleman catch one more ball 10 feet in the air, I've had enough of it. I mean, I keep wondering, why are all these balls 10 feet in the air that he has to catch? They put a sizzle reel out on Arch yesterday where everyone in the world bought it, and it's a lot of nice passes against air. But he yells like butter at the end of it, and so now it's gone viral. But it's a lot of great passes against air. I mean, Brady Hart hadn't thrown a meaningful college pass. I could put together a nice sizzle reel at him. He's got a nice arm against air as well. He throws a nice deep ball. With that said, I would put Arch. I would probably put him 2 because what I think his ceiling is.
Mm-hmm.
And the weapons around. So what are you factoring in? Like, are you saying, well, I'm going to put Arch up because I think they return more in the way of weapons than anybody. And I think his ceiling is higher than all of them, like his NFL ceiling, him when he's playing, like when he's locked in and dialed. I get that. I would have him at 2. I would not put him at number 1 because he hasn't proven near as much as Trinidad Chambliss has. And I think Arch has put more bad tape out there. We talk about Marcel and accuracy. I think Arch is every bit those issues if you put the low light highlights out there from him. But I'd have him 2. Now, after that, here's the deal. Like Marcel, Mateer, Gunnar Stockton, Sam Levitt. So you're at 3, 4, 5, 6. That That's about where I would. Who am I leaving anyone out? Reese,
Alabama
obvious?
QB.
Well, no, but I'm saying, is there anybody else kind of obvious I'm leading out? Like, like Kamario
Lenoris.
Taylor could come in. Okay, Lenoris I would put in there too. But again, like, let's have the argument of Marcel on any of those guys. Like Mateer, I've gone through it a million times. Everybody's assuming that I've talked to in the media that OU's fixed their running game. Well, it's the same guys that got their asses kicked last year up front. No one's assuming that A&M's going to have a good running game. I don't know what's more likely to work. 4 out of 5 guys that got pummeled. I was listening this morning, driving over here, people breaking down some great plays by Mateer, and one of them was T-Bob. And I'm like, that you guys, like, everybody spends their time crapping on Marcel and talking about the negative. John Mateer put up 1 touchdown and 13 points in his final game at home, T-Bob, against your LSU team, that A&M and Marcel scored 50 on. 57 touchdowns versus 1 against a common opponent, both in the second half of the season. 1 at home, 1 on the road. 1 on the road when the team was still ranked and playing for something. 1 on the road when the team was done, dead, and buried with an interim head coach and a backup quarterback that couldn't complete a pass in Van Buren. So a lot of this stuff just makes no sense to me. So, but if you want to go with the Alabama, and who was I listening to? It was Andy Staples. And these are all people, by the way, that I respect the hell out of their football opinions, and I like personally and professionally. I like what they do. But Andy was on talking, I think, to Walker about Bama, and was talking about how poorly they ran the ball last year. And said, well, they got a new OC and a new O-line coach, or a new O-line coach and a new tight ends coach is what it was. And I'm just going, so we're an offense that couldn't help a first-round draft pick in Ty Simpson last year. And we're assuming now that because you hire a different O-line coach and tight ends coach, and by the way, they lost didn't they lose Proctor, a first-round NFL pick on the O-line, and they're going to get those issues fixed and protect a first-time starter at quarterback. And by the way, whoever it is hasn't been good enough to win the job yet through this part of fall. So I just think you can choose to look at and pump up and promote the positive or the negative. And it just feels to me like in the last month or so, the only thing people are pointing out about Marcel Reed is the negative, and it is where the momentum is, kind of mainstream, and it's where it's going. And luckily enough, football season's right around the corner, and it's just going to matter what they do on the field.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back with 25 and 25. I know there's a text message for Billy to get into as well. Milliken Reserve Time, farm-to-table community in College Station. There's homes, there's trails, there's farms, and there's wide open spaces. They have a mission to build a healthy community around nature. They've got 2,600 acres of space. They've got 30 miles of trails. They've got awesome homes. It's just a good place to go connect with your family. It's a place for generation after generation just to cherish being in the outdoors. You have all the white-tailed deer you want, the songbirds, the rabbits, and the turtles. And the homeowners at Milliken Reserve sharing a legacy of conservation, which means generation after generation, you're coming back to that pristine countryside place. Great place to go relax and reflect, explore, and much, much more. You can learn more at millikenreserve.com. That is millikenreserve.com. Go check them out.
We're back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Time for 25 and 25, presented by Paragon Financial Advisors, an Aggie-owned independent fee-only fiduciary serving families and business owners nationwide. Visit paragon-adv.com. Number 11 on the list, Mr. Liucci, is Marcus Ratcliffe.
What number is that, 11?
Yes, sir. You want me to give you the numbers heading into it the last couple of days?
Yeah, I'd like to hear
Okay,
them.
15 was TJ Searcy. Number 14, Wilkin Formby. Number 13, Jamarian Morrow. Number 12, Marco Jones. And number 11, Marcus Ratcliffe.
It's funny because 13 and 12 are two I've talked about all, since they got here, as this was a year for them both to break out. And I think they need to. And I think they've had fall camps that would indicate they're both going to be a big part of any success A&M has, Marco and Jamarian. And by the way, that's part of why people, if they are what I think they are, and people knew that, you change your opinion on A&M quite a bit, right? If you know that Marco Jones is going to be like a future first-round defensive end, or that Jamarian Morrow is going to be a stud SEC running back beginning this year, but obviously only getting better. He's just going to be, he's first, truly significant amount of playing time in terms of probably sharing the load, at least unless somebody else surges up. But I love those two to move up on that list. As far as Ratcliffe, at 11, I actually think he should be higher. And I was talking to an NFL scout yesterday, and I was just kind of like, who do we have that's like a potential first, second round pick? Like last year you had what? You had
Cassius.
Casey, Cassius, Besantis, who unfortunately suffered injury, was it last night? And then, even Nate Borkacher. You had 4. When did Regis and Onyedem go? 3rd round, I think. But you had 4, and then you had a couple 3rd rounders, right? So 6 guys go in the top 3. And I was asking who would be those guys this year. And you know the names, and he said if there was a potential first rounder, in his opinion, it was DJ Hicks, which is not surprising, but it's also, and he didn't say he had him there yet, but he said that's the most likely potential. Who else would you, if there were 3 guys on that list, Reese, who else would you think they were, or Nuno?
Mario Craver, I feel like, is on there.
I think there was 4.
And maybe
Craver, the deal with Craver, again, I've told you, I've had people tell me, they liken him to like a Tank Dell, and they think he's really good, and he could get in there himself.
Sanford or Horton, potentially?
Des Ricks.
Des Ricks, they had as a really interesting one because they said, skill set wise, he could absolutely go really high. His is entirely dependent on he can't. What he put out there last year isn't enough. But if you look at him 2 years ago to last year, and if he continues to improve, he's got an opportunity, he's got a chance to be one of those guys. So they've definitely got their eyes on him.
Dalton Brooks.
Well, I gave it away. It was 3. It was Ratcliffe. But, and then they were talking about, in those, let's just call it A, B, C type grade, and the B grade guys were the guys we mentioned, Brooks, Horton, Antosaka, Sanford, Searcy, and then Formby's getting a lot of people's attention just because they're starting to realize even more and more what a mountain of a dude he is. He's over 6'7", and I don't know what he weighs, 340 pounds probably in real life. Those are some of the names. If you want to start going, well, will A&M have a bunch of draft picks again? Right now, those guys are more in those middle to late rounds versus those high-end rounds. But one of the guys that the NFL is really, of all those DBs we talk about, and they got a lot of them, Dez, Ratcliffe, Dalton, Jordan Shaw, Ricky Gibson, Julio Humphrey, Byard, all these dudes, and Ratcliffe is the one that's got the most attention right now per the NFL. And if you think about it, it's easy to see why. The height, the range, the length. He had, I think, 3 interceptions 2 years ago. Probably should have had about 3 or 4 this year, per his own admission. He's physical. He can blitz. I love the tandem of he and Dalton back there, and then with the support they've added, I still think Tafik Bayard has a chance to be really good. But Dalton Brooks, he's a team captain. He's an A++ person, locker room representative of the team. But he can play ball, and he's going to be a 3-year starter in the SEC. That was a late developing guy, which is why he was at San Diego State. And I forget the other guy's name. If you can look that up for me, Reese. They took 2 extra tall, long DBs in that class that were really physical. And I liked both of them at the time, and one of them wasn't here but for 2 seconds. Was it Saunders? I think it was Saunders. But anyway, Ratcliffe stayed, played early, made his presence felt very early here in this first couple games, and he's been a starter ever since. And he's gotten better and better and better. And if you look at him now, what you see, if you're really paying attention, we talk about, and it jumps out at you, all these guys that have gained weight, bulked up, and really, wow, look at him. He gained, 17 pounds in the offseason. This guy gained 8 pounds of muscle. And Ratcliffe is a guy that's just transformed. He's now a longer, leaner, and I think much faster player than he was when he got to A&M. And I think when he works out for pro scouts, that's really going to show up. But you talk about a guy that I think he's really solid at everything, and I want to see him get great this year. And I know he puts in the work. I know he's got it mentally, and now he's got it experience-wise. He should be able to telegraph, find the football, use that length and that extra step I believe he's got, show some more range getting to the ball. I think Marcus Ratcliffe, and he'd be my pick to lead the team in interceptions this year. And I'd like to see him kind of spearhead that group that goes from 1 interception by the entire secondary to a lot of them.
Yep.
There's no reason this group shouldn't pick off a lot of passes this year. And you know why? They're NFL to fringe NFL draft pick guys, all of them, and they've got a ton of experience. That combination, you should understand and anticipate more than we saw last year collectively, and he'll be leading that charge.
Trey Jones III was in that class 6'2", Will Lee 6'3". Those were some of those DBs in that transfer portal class with Marcus Ratcliffe.
Who was that first name you said?
Trey Jones.
Trey Jones III from Central Michigan.
Oh, Central Michigan. No, that's not who I'm talking about, though. Who? Who'd you say?
I mean, Will Lee was on there.
Don Saunders.
Yeah, Donovan Saunders. That was the one. And I thought both of those pickups, when they got them, I liked it because they were tall, physical. I think Saunders was a guy that was committed to TCU. You like what they always take defensively. But Ratcliffe has been one that – Ratcliffe has panned out. Marcus Ratcliffe has panned out. We talk about the Cassius Howells. That one just jumps out at you from a transfer portal. That's it's kind of the number one, right? Like if you're who are some of the best? Well, Scorton,
KC.
Scorton was. So if I'm ranking them, I would go Cassius Howell number 1. You took him from Bowling Green,
turn him into
the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and you get a little extra credit for a 2-year deal versus a 1-year rental. Number 2, I'd say KC Concepcion. And then number 3, Marcus. Scorton.
Oh, Scorton. Okay.
Just Scorton from the standpoint of he was already proven.
Yeah.
You had the tie-in to him, but that was a massive get out of the portal, and he lived up to it. I mean, the defense sometimes was a letdown. That was just year 1 of a new coaching staff, and he was really good and went in the 2nd round. And I think after that group, I might have Marcus Ratcliffe.
And then maybe Nate.
Shoot, I forgot about Nate. Nate might be number 1. I'd actually go Cassius, Nate, number 2, and then go from there. But Ratcliffe's a top 5 Elko transfer portal addition.
Yeah.
Which is saying something because you still got guys like Will Lee. We mentioned Des Ricks, and there's a few others that are still there right now that are kind of like a TBD type.
Let's talk a little Bubba's 33 on Highway 6. Place to go when you're ready to watch sports, when you're ready to hang out. You want to watch some Aggie football. If you can't make it to Kyle Field, you go to Bubba's 33 and enjoy that. They have all the games on TV. They've got the music. They got the wall-to-wall televisions. You won't miss a single play when you go to Bubba's 33. And they have Monday, $10.99 burgers all day. The burgers are huge. They're fantastic. Get them with some fries. Tuesdays, $11.99 pizzas all day. And they have the late night craving and the bites there. So make sure you check out Bubba's 33 when you go there. Say hi to Shelby and Jessica when you go by. Maddox works there. He used to be an intern here. It is Bubba's 33 on Highway 6 in College Station. Go check them out. All right, maybe Nick can get the link from Instagram or Twitter of A&M's new uniforms for the Arkansas game. Am I right about that?
October 3rd versus the Arkansas Razorbacks.
I'm looking at it. It's Marcus Ratcliffe wearing the uniform,
Yes.
by the way. We just spoke about Marcus Ratcliffe. Kind of like him. I didn't think I was going to like him. I kind of like him.
Yeah, interesting decision to go with maroon pants. Some people were curious whether they would go with the camo pants to go with the camo top and helmet, but curious to get y'all's thoughts on the jerseys. I know both of you have seen them on social media. Just curious what you think, early reactions.
Well, I think it's pretty funny that you're going camo, you're trying to be hidden, and then you just slap these maroon pants on, and now everybody can see you. Kind of defeats the purpose. My thoughts for these, seeing that version of them, where you're able to do the maroon accents like you saw the sleeves, and you're going to have the socks or whatever with the accents, and then like you said, the maroon pants. I think it changes the look for me quite a bit than the standalone jersey. Like you see that look there. If you have enough, he is not wearing those high maroon socks, but like if you have enough of the accents to go with it, I like it. I love the spirit of it. Armed forces and America and all of those things are badass. I never let myself get too bothered or annoyed with an alternate uniform because people work hard to try to come up with something good. These would not be at the top of my list. And my biggest gripe, I think, about it is the helmet. I love the helmet. Love it. I don't, the logo doesn't do it for me on the helmet. That state of Texas with that's where, and some people, that might be their favorite part. So again, this is just an opinion. I wouldn't rank it up there at all on my list of alternate uniforms. And because of that, I wish they were doing it in a non-SEC game and doing it against somebody like Citadel or something. But other than that logo, I love the way the helmet looks with the maroon. Like I think it's badass. I honestly, just to me, I would have liked just a maroon ATM. Again, personal preference. I like that. What we're looking at right there, when you mix in those maroon, like I said, those maroon accents and the pants and stuff, it completely changed it. Then when you just see the standalone jersey, it took me from really hating it, thinking I was going to hate it, to thinking it's. I like it. I don't love it.
I saw somebody.
I mean, the all black ones were some of my.
Yeah.
It might be my favorites ever. One of my two favorites ever, and the. Some of my favorites ever were the homage to '98 in 2018 when they played Kentucky. The blackout from LSU 2 years ago. And then, I'll tell you what I loved that to me 10 out of 10 hit were those ones they wore against Florida.
The throwbacks.
The throwbacks last year. Those to me were like 11 out of 10. I loved everything they did with it. So I'm more interested to see now like what else they do in game that day, like they did with the throwbacks. Because I think that was the coolest part of the throwbacks too, was when you got out there. You saw what they did to the field, the way they had the scoreboard, all that stuff was like 1975. So I'll be really interested to see creatively what they do around these uniforms for that ball game.
Billy, you got a hot sports take on the Jaden Daniels situation?
Not really. I think that's embarrassing.
I agree.
I think it's stupid. I think it's childish. I think you're an NFL quarterback, and it sure as hell seems like. It sure seems like his mom would be involved in that somehow. And I think his legal team or the people running his brand, somebody should have just raised their hand and said, hey, this is a terrible look. This is stupid. I know over the years, just kind of separate, but like what is, and you can go down whatever road you want to with this. You say, well, he's gotten in trouble. Like A&M, what have they done in how many years for Johnny? 13, going on 14 years now since that Heisman. There's no statue. There's no, obviously they didn't retire a number, which I don't know if you should retire a football number anymore. I know LSU hasn't used 9 since Joe Burrow played. You know, the other thing with Johnny, he left in the very next year, Speedy Noyle's wearing it. Like the next season. He's never gone out and gone on and he's got a megaphone and a platform. And I promise you, I know a lot of that hasn't set well with him over the years to different degrees. He's not sitting there, but he's never got behind a microphone or got on a camera and said, A&M, disrespect, you know, like much less to ask them to stop using. And in fact, Johnny's been the opposite, because anytime they want him for something, I know he didn't come, he missed, you know, game day and, you know, canceled on that. And that's a whole separate deal. But like when A&M has asked him to participate or be a part of something, he's here. He's here. And they did honor him and Mike by putting them in the Hall of Fame, which is, so the Letterman's Association is the one entity that has. But what Jaden Daniels is doing, and I'm glad Johnny's never done this, because it's just freaking embarrassing for the player, for his brand, for his legacy, all of it. I mean, what do you think LSU fans and people think right now about Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, they're done.
They're like, okay, dude, great. Thanks for the Heisman. We can add it to our, you know, list when we go sell it to recruits and stuff. But you came in here for 2 years, and now you're acting like that.
Didn't win a national championship.
Oh, they weren't.
They're now asking for the trophy, the Heisman Trophy that LSU has back.
Yeah.
So
Which, by the way, he has a Heisman.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels has one.
Yeah.
They want it out of the building, which is ridiculous. So it's one of the rare times I'm going to side with LSU.
Yep.
Now, I mean, the things you do for recruiting, you know, Brian Kelly must have promised his player that number. Brian Kelly coached Jaden Daniels. You would think he wouldn't do it that quick after. And then Lane Kiffin, of course, is going to honor it. If anything, Lane Kiffin could have said, hey, I didn't promise it to you. You know, he could have walked that back. So anyway, but I am taking LSU's side on this one. It's embarrassing, stupid. It's almost as dumb as Joey McGuire every third week crying about, you know, all these teams that are scared to play them. And he's got his lackey, his GM guy, you know, who celebrates these recruiting wins while in the same breath on Twitter, while in the same breath they brag about how much they pay. And it's fine, like pay them and get them, but don't act like, you know, you're splitting the atom here by getting. You just pay them a lot more. And I think they probably just pay them right away. Like, you know, there's also that going on, like who pays who, how.
Right.
It's crazy to me that this guy's going and taking victory laps, and he's got the loudest GM in the country that all these dumbasses in media buy into, because he's just leaking them all kinds of information and self-promoting.
Yeah.
And they want to criticize A&M or Texas or LSU or Alabama. But by God, if you put a GM on there that'll leak stuff and call you and volunteer information and give you a good all-access article, then throw all your damn morals out the window and go do it and hype them up from that point forward. And that goes for some veteran writers that it's embarrassing to see them do that. But he's on there talking about teams are scared. No one's scared to play Texas Tech. And by the way, that's also not an insult in saying that Tech's not good.
Yeah.
Tech and A&M on a neutral field last year and this year, I think would be a hell of a game. That Tech defense was no joke last year. My whole gripe about them is they just shouldn't have been ranked as high because they had an easier path than everyone. You talk about A&M's, you know, getting a nice hand with the SEC schedule. You can't say that and ignore what Tech played, but yet they did. That was my issue, but that's a damn good defense. And they would have lost to Oregon 38-0 if it wasn't for the defense. They got fourth down stops. They forced field goals. It's not about Tech not being a good team. It's about why in the hell. Like, I think A&M could play Texas Tech in a home and home. I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool. I mean, I'm not leaping at the chance to go play in Lubbock. They tell me that stadium is 10 times nicer than it was when A&M was in the Big 12. I'd give it a chance. But I think it'd be a hell of a emotional, intense, a lot on the line, home and home. But I don't think it's in my top 5 that I would pick. And then secondly, when A&M is playing and Texas is playing and Oklahoma or whoever, 9 SEC games, and Tech's over here clamoring to be the 10th of those, it's like, okay, we'll get to you when we feel like it.
Yeah.
But we're not tripping over ourselves. We're playing Arizona State, who, by the way, beat you last year. And by the way, played an SEC team. So it proves you can schedule one. Arizona State's over there playing Mississippi State. And it's them, then it's Louisville. And then if you want to talk to us after that, I think A&M should look into it. Whenever we have an opening in a non-conference, I would look into scheduling Texas Tech. I would also look into scheduling a handful of other teams that I think would be really cool home and homes to have moving forward out of the Power 4 rank.
All right, we'll hit a break, come back with a short final segment. When you're craving authentic Italian food, there's one place that brings all the tradition, all the flavor, all the great ingredients, and the family together. That is Fritella Italian Cafe. Family-owned restaurant serving up fresh, homemade dishes every day, and they use recipes passed down through generations, like their signature Fritella, fried to golden perfection, stuffed with marinara, mozzarella, and your choice of fillings. From lasagna to beef cannelloni to fettuccine alfredo to crispy pizza, Fritella's Copper Dome Pizza Oven is one of its own. Stop in for daily lunch specials or Fritella to cater your next event. It is the Fritella Italian Cafe on South Texas Avenue in Bryan. More than a meal, it is a tradition. Hey, everybody. We're on the air.
I think, remind me to tell you, I think happened at Hastings.
You could tell me. I got jumped. I got beat up. Whatever.
No, it's for their entertainment purposes, off air. But
all right.
I've got a hypothetical that I've come up with that
for
I
me
believe
to be
happened.
Oh, okay. It didn't happen, but okay. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Reese Nygren, I know a couple guys had questions for Billy. Are they good questions or are they bad? You
we actually
I'll take them all. I'm actually doing what I meant to tell Zane is I'm going to ruin his afternoon right here.
What are we doing? Ask Liucci?
Yep. Okay, go ahead, Reese. I'm listening while I post and ask Liucci.
Not all of them, just one.
This is for Billy.
No, ask two of them.
Who are his 3 preseason Heisman candidates to make it to New York, and who wins?
3 to make it, and who wins? Gosh, that's
Jeremiah Smith.
I'm going to go Dante Moore in that Oregon offense with the weapons they've got. Although I've talked to people that are familiar with that. They go, the one thing, they've got a question mark too, and it's the offensive line. I'm going to go him. I'm going to go with a sleeper here. I'm not going to go Trinidad. I'm going to go with an SEC sleeper. And I'm going to go Gunnar Stockton. I'm going to go consistent and a bunch of wins and some actually pretty big numbers in that Mike Bobo offense, which he kind of pulled himself out of bad favor with those things. So I'm going to go Stockton. And for my third one,
Josh Hoover.
No, but I mean, I don't think Indiana goes back to back.
Darian Mensah.
That's who I'm taking Darian Mensah to win the Heisman.
I'm going to take Malachi Tony. I think he's going to be sensational because of Mensah.
And because he's great.
It's weird, though, that you'd leave off Arch, Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, Trinidad. There's a quarterback out at USC that A&M played a couple years ago in the bowl.
Jaden Mabia.
That I think could put up some pretty big numbers as well. I just don't know. I'm not sold yet on USC winning enough games because if he gets credit for being like the guy that brought USC back, even if they're just a playoff team with numbers, that one could be interesting.
We've got 32 seconds. You want a quick one?
Yeah. If Billy had to parlay 3 big Aggie wins this year, which 3 is he picking?
In a bet, like to win money, with no spread. Big win. That's a tough one. Big wins, right?
3 big wins.
In 15 seconds.
I would say I would go my big money win would be I would go Texas. I would go Tennessee, and I'll go Alabama.
Gig 'em. We'll see you guys on Monday.